What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode and live stream of Let's Get Nuts here on the Ben Thomas Show on Sunday. Thanks for coming back, guys. We have been away for 2 weeks, mostly my fault. Last week I was sick. The week before, of course, we had our Canadian Thanksgiving, and I ate so much turkey. I'm surprised I even still look like the same person, to be honest. All the pie, the turkey, all the good things. But today, we have quite a bit of Hot Toys news to cover. Lots of DC kind of hitting the 6-scale market, which is really exciting. We also have a lot of entertainment news to get caught up on. We're not going to cover every single figure that we've missed over the last little while, so I cherry-picked a couple things. Definitely going to do a bit of a Joker deep dive as well, because you guys know I love the Joker. So stick around. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. Smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and let's get nuts.
What are you doing? You're completely outnumbered here. Are you nuts? You want to get nuts? You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts? You want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Alrighty, welcome back. I was making fun of myself in the back because I've been so rusty. I don't even remember where all the buttons are. You hate to see it. But guys, I missed you guys on Sundays. Thanks for being here already with us. Let's bring in our first guest of the day. We've got Luis from Pop Culture Relics back in the house with us. Good to see you, buddy. How you going? How you doing?
Good to see you, Ben. Welcome back. It's been a little bit. Missed your face, so nice to be back.
Yeah, man. I like that shirt, by the way. I meant to say it while we were backstage, but I was rushing to figure all my shit out. So that's awesome, buddy. But things have been good. I guess you don't have Thanksgiving. You have it coming up, I think, for you guys, right?
Yes. We have our Thanksgiving pretty much just under 2 weeks now, and busy weekend next weekend, and then of course busy week leading up to that. So,
yeah. Did you dress up for Halloween at all, or?
You know, I did kind of. I have like a legit Han Solo getup, which I wore to a Halloween party. But then for Halloween, I have like the pants, but they're actually joggers, so it's a little more casual. So I did that with the kids, of course. We went out trick or treating. But I'm actually working on a stormtrooper, like full on life size stormtrooper that is wearable. So I've been working on that kind of on and off. So definitely by next Halloween, it'll be ready to go.
If you have any tips that are required, definitely talk to Shane, 1-6-figure Focus. I know he's part of some like stormtrooper battalion of sorts.
Yeah.
But he's got the full gear as well. Like the full costume. So
yeah.
And I know he put a lot of time and effort into it. So yeah, talk to Shane if you have some questions for sure.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks.
But dude, it's awesome to have you back. Thanks for taking your Sunday here with us.
Thank you for having me. As always, thanks, man.
Now let's bring in the guy who introduced you and I, of course. Some would know him as one of the coolest displays in the background. Some of you out there will have seen some pretty cool photography from this gentleman. Of course, we got Philly Figurecraft back in the house with us. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back, Ben. It's been a while. We missed you, and been looking forward to this. But besides, speaking of the background, that's going to change hopefully by the end of the year. So hopefully it'd be a better situation. But looking forward to that because that's a big toll. But yeah, thanks for having me. I've been excited, so thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
If you don't mind me asking, how many like figures do you even have now, Philly? Like, what are you kind of getting up to numbers wise? Because like from what I can see right now,
lost count. Yeah, I lost count, but it's definitely over close to 400, I believe.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. What kind of display are you going to do? Like, how are you going Module Case route?
It's an extension and reconfiguration, and it has to do with the '89 Batmobile. So I'm going to go with a 48 by 48 display that will be able to have the Batmobile rotate 360 degrees. So it'll be extended over here to this. So yeah, I'm very excited. Looking forward to that, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll have something to show.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, let me know if there's a time, if it helps you, come on, Let's Get Nuts. We can announce to tell people where to go and check it out. I said the same thing to Luis a couple weeks back. So same idea. If I can help, let's do it. Cause yeah, we got to get some traffic in for you there, buddy. And I didn't have a chance to actually tell you in person, Philly, but the photos you were taking of the Batmobile with the Keaton Batman, insane. literally insane.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
So
Yeah,
good
that's
job.
a video coming out soon, though. I'm still working on it, taking my time, but I got 2 more scenes to go, and it's going to be a whole tribute video for that '89 Batmobile. So looking forward to that.
Very inspiring. It made me actually want a garage so I could do something similar if I ever got the opportunity. So, but let's bring in our next guest. Of course, some of you may know him as the sexy cowboy man who likes Wolverine. I happen to know him as Dave. Some of you out there know him as X-Men Supreme. We got Dave back in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Ooh, well, flattery will get you everywhere.
That's right. That was the goal. How's things going for you, buddy?
It's great. It's always good when I get to hear Adam West say, "You want to get nuts?" That's fantastic.
Hell yeah.
That's just the best thing ever, man.
My brother actually sent me a Homer Simpson saying, "Do you want to get nuts?" recently. I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna have to figure out how to edit that video again. That intro took me hours to make, which was insane. But
you got to do it, man. You told us about it. Now you got to do it.
Now I gotta do it. Now I gotta figure something out.
Friggin' Chekhov's Homer.
Yes, exactly right. But dude, good to see you back. Thank you for being here. Of course, taking some time out of your Sunday to get nuts with us.
Good to see all of y'all, man.
We had another special guest pop up. Now, I haven't seen this guy in a while because honestly, he's been traveling with his lovely wife, and you know she's probably my favorite part of the channel, truthfully. But of course, we got Marco from 166 back with us, getting nuts for man. It's been so long since we've had you here, buddy. Good to see you.
Ben, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, please.
Your effing mouth.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday.
Good to see you, buddy.
Hey,
when
man.
I saw you pop up on the little screen here down below, it looked like you were almost wearing a tie. And I was like, holy shit, like Marco got really fancy for getting nuts on a Sunday. So
yeah, no, I would never do that for you, Ben. But
Okay,
yeah, I put on a sweater that didn't have any holes in it. That's the best I could do.
That's right. No pants, of course, but
Always,
sweaters for sure.
Always.
Yeah, no. That's awesome, buddy. Good to have you back. Thank you so much for being here. I want to get right into the show today, guys, because we do have a ton of stuff to cover. We already have somewhere between 20 and 30 people watching live. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday here with us once again. I'm sure we'll see a bunch more people roll in here over the next couple minutes. I will say hi to everybody at the break there, of course, like we always do, but let's bring up some warm-up for us here, boys, to get us going here. Today, by the way, is episode 57 of Let's Get Nuts. So if you're catching this on the replay, if you've never seen the show before, you have 57 episodes to watch us polish our nuts over the course of a period of time. That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right. Let's try this. For some reason, StreamYard is being weird today, so I have to share my slides a little bit differently, but I wanted to give Bob Dylan a shout out because this popped up in my Facebook and Instagram recently. And of course, we're looking at Howard Chen, the 1/6 scale figure that Bob Dylan has created with his own little DTOF and little figure boxes and everything. And this made me laugh so hard that I was like, not only if some of you out there have not seen this is amazing and I want to shout it out, but it did pose the question in my brain. If you had the creativity of a Bob Dylan out there in the world, and by the way, that's his Instagram handle, go give him a follow if you haven't already. But if you had a creative brain like Bob Dylan, what random ass character from the world would you want to put in your display? And so I didn't prep you guys for this question at all ahead of time. But Luis, I'd be curious for you, buddy. Has there ever been a custom character or person in the world that you'd be like, that would be hilarious?
Yeah, definitely put us on the spot. I'd probably go with like my favorite actors. I'd put Harrison Ford in there. Probably Arnold Schwarzenegger, which thankfully, we have figures of them, but I guess one that hasn't been made. Shoot, I think that's probably harder. Yeah, I mean one that hasn't been made. I don't even know, to be honest. Maybe Matthew Stafford for the Rams. He's a quarterback, so
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd probably
go. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because
we've always had those celebrities that are like in our life, for it's either football or are just sports in general, movies, TV characters. Sometimes you just can't get them in your display. For me, I think I would want a Jack Shepherd from the TV show Lost. He was, my hero doctor in that show. Loved that show. Or I would actually want a Dean the Dream Martin as well. I think a Dean the Dream in the display would be freaking awesome. I would love a Dean. Billy, what about you, buddy? Who would you create as a random
Ben,
display?
sorry to jump in, but I think Calvin might be backstage too.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
nice,
an
okay.
additional guest.
I don't see him there.
sure.
It's because he's below my screen. Thanks for that.
You want me to go ahead, or you want me to?
Yeah,
introduce
Philly, go
Calvin?
ahead. 100%. No, go ahead. We'll bring.
I have a
yours.
theory, and I hope you, Bob, you're watching, because I'm on to you, buddy. I think he has a shrinking ray gun that he should shrink stuff, and because it's the only logical explanation. How do you like? This is very amazing what he did. Like literally,
So good.
the only thing I would ask is the question you're asking is I probably want a Bob Dylan holding a figure like this in 1/6 scale, because it's
Bob Dylan
amazing.
holding
I
a
mean, look
Howard
at it. The guy, a D-top. How did you shrink a D-top? The only logical explanation is he's got a shrinking ray gun. I'm onto you, Bob. I know that's what you do. So
Hell yeah.
but yeah, I would. Yeah, I honestly, really, a Bob Dylan 1/6 scale. That's all that's left. I mean, he's a legend. So that'd be really cool to have.
For sure. I'm always very jealous of his John Wick display as well. That thing is insane.
Yeah.
Insane display. So, X-Men, Dave, what do you think, buddy?
I want to say something dumb like T.J. Miller, but like,
To go with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, or
yeah, or just cuz. But like, oh man, I had one in mind too. I would make a figure of Taylor Momsen. Is what I would
know
do.
who that is. I don't think I know
That
who
is you know who she is because you watched Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Yeah.
She was Cindy Lou Who, but now
Oh, now she's
Now-
a rock star.
she is the front woman for the Pretty Reckless, and they're freaking awesome.
Yeah, hell
This is
yeah.
a gr-
That's
it's
awesome.
such a great. It's like my favorite band over the last 5 or 6 years.
Sure.
So definitely, I would do that for sure, 100%.
Cool. Random pick. Love it. Let us know in the chat, guys, if you have any random choices as well. Marco, I'll go to you in a second. I'm just going to bring Calvin in here. We got Low-Key Collector in the house with us. Haven't gotten nuts with you in a while. Good sir. Thanks for popping in. How are you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys?
So, brother.
Give me a 1/6 low key. I gotta have myself.
Yeah, fair. I thought somebody would say themselves, to be honest, because I've always kind of thought it'd be cool to put myself in the display,
Yeah.
but I don't know where I would do it.
I mean, if I
Nick
invest
already
as much
did
in
it.
everybody else's likeness, why wouldn't I do myself?
For sure. But would you put yourself in like a Batman outfit, or more of like a kind of like a regular everyday getup like you normally rock?
No, I'd probably have a Laker jersey on or something like that. And real quick, stop the disrespect to Kobe. You always talking about it's a damn banana. It's Kobe Duncan, right?
I gotta admit,
"Is that a
it's
banana?"
this like
I'm
it literally is like on a little screen like this. It looks like a floating banana every time I
purple
see
and gold.
it. So.
Come on now. And I'd expect that
Love
from
Kobe.
Marco.
Fair.
Even I would
that's
never.
that's been sitting with you for a while. That's funny. That's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here, man. For sure.
Thanks for having
sure.
me, guys.
Hell yeah. Marco, what do you think, buddy? Because you're a huge sports guy too. Like, what would you dream put in the collection?
Yeah, no, this is a really interesting topic. I'm gonna have a thought here that's gonna sound a bit like a high thought, but I am sober. But it would be appropriate to be on your channel and to kind of, rattle on some categories here. So it's a little bit tricky, right? So the reason I collect these figures is representation of characters from film or TV that I enjoy. When you take a step back beyond that, like, okay, I do collect sports figures as well, right? So I've got some NBA, right? So I could be into some NFL figures, probably some legends, from all-time greats. But then anything removed beyond that realm, I don't know that I would necessarily want representation. Like maybe a musician. I know folks have that, Kurt Cobain. So I can't necessarily think of any musicians that I would want. Maybe some rappers or probably R. Kelly. But I'm also thinking of like, okay, so then you take a further step back, like just celebrities in general or politicians. I think like none of those categories really interest me. Like I can't think of a single person that I would necessarily want representation on my shelf from just like a normal person or a celebrity. So yeah, so I would say probably like sports is my cutoff. Maybe I'll be proven wrong someday when I see if they, they did that Kevin Feige run. Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if they ever did the wide release of the Kevin Feige, maybe, but I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of the point where I just don't really, I don't really have interest in collecting beyond that point. But yeah, maybe someday I'll be proven wrong.
No, that's fair, buddy. No, that's fair. No, totally cool. And I was thinking while you were talking about Kevin Feige, because I was also thinking like, I've seen the Black Series George Lucas and Stormtrooper armor. I think that could be like a cool in the 6 scale display. But also, I was thinking, because I'm Canadian, so I'm allowed to make fun a little bit. Donald Trump, with how orange he is, that's the only figure you could eat Cheetos while handling, and you'd still be totally good, right? So
I think that's the way you're supposed to actually do it via
is-
the instructions.
that is the biggest and best figure I have in my collection. Yeah,
Elite impression there, Ben. Holy cow.
yeah. I'm horrible.
Hey,
at
have it.
impressions.
I have a question for you guys all. Did you already went through Calvin? I think Calvin already said, right?
Yeah, himself.
I have a question for you, and maybe this will give me an insight, a bit of an insight, because I have an idea. What about a figure of yourself, a 1/6 scale figure of yourself? Would you ever consider that? Because I am considering maybe being a customizer for my friends and making figures for themselves. What do you think of that?
I know you missed it, Philly, because that is actually what Calvin had said was his choice.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, you're good. No, you're
Calvin-
good. And it's funny
Hey, if you
because
can, if you can make my adventure hat, that'd
Calvin
be
and I,
awesome.
we've been talking about it already. Calvin and I have been talking about it. So I was like thinking, like, would anybody want that? That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it be? I mean,
100%. Well,
Yeah.
and to add to that, every figure comes with accessories, right? So if you had a figure of yourself, what are the accessories that need to come with your character, right?
Right.
For me, it would probably be a blunt, for sure, definitely.
And it would get lost immediately.
Where'd it go? 100%. 100%. No, that would be awesome, Philly. If you end up doing that kind of commission work, I'd be 100% interested in doing.
once I get my
getting
3D printer and I start kind of tackling, Calvin will be my first test subject. So
I would literally
we'll
even
let you
love
know.
to have like a Let's Get Nuts panel in my display. I think that could be cool. Like all the
That'd
guys
be
have come
really
through
cool.
through over time. Like that could be really fun. So hell yeah.
New Hall of Armor.
Yeah, that's right. One more warm-up topic before we get into the news and the figure stuff here, guys. I gotta use this screen here as well. This was actually shared in the Let's Get Nuts group about 10 days ago. So this is interesting. So there are 10 of these rare life-size Batman tumbler replicas now that are in existence that you can purchase. A couple side notes. They are not street legal. These are literally meant to be display only. They have working lights. It's a full replica of essentially, the original tumbler there from the film. And it costs $3 million in order to get your hands on one of these 10 items in the world. And I was, chuckling to myself when I saw this pop up in Let's Get Nuts, because while I think the tumbler is really cool, I know a lot of us have various vehicles in our 6 scale display. But I would be curious if you guys had the cash, that crazy nut money to be able to buy your own replica vehicle of something from one of your favorite film franchises or TV franchises. What would be the one vehicle you'd want to drive around in, or at least have in your display? And that can be from any film, TV, movie, anything along those lines. So for me, I honestly do think it would be the Batman '89 Keaton Batmobile. I think that would be so cool. It's such an iconic vehicle. If you could actually sit in it, that would be, in my opinion, such an awesome. But an honorable mention for me would be a Jurassic Park Jeep, like one of the authentic ones. I think that could be really, really cool. Marco, I'll go to you first, buddy, because I know you were saying you collect 6 scale for a different reason than the previous warm-up topic. What about a vehicle? What would you want to put in a cool, fancy garage if you had the cash to do it?
Yeah. So definitely, I think you listed 2 perfect iconic vehicles right there. I feel like the Tumbler is pretty top of the list for me, honestly. If I'm spending $3 million, it's just so unique, right? Like it's just, it's iconic. And also, if I'm spending $3 million, I don't care if it's not street legal. You know I'm taking that out on the street. If you got the cash to buy it, you know you could pay the fines. But I got to go with the tumbler. I know that's low-hanging fruit because it's obviously on our screen, but it would just be so awesome. If you could, you got $3 million, maybe Morgan Freeman can come sit in the passenger seat for a ride. I think you just, take on the entire fantasy there. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Honest Hansel says 89 Batmobile as well. Agent Silver Fox, good to see you, buddy. It says the Aston Martin DB5. Hell yeah. James Bond. Love James Bond. What about you, Philly? What would be one car that you'd have? Since you have quite a good six scale display as it is, what would you put on the road or in your garage? Oh, you're muted there, Philly. Can you hear me?
Muted,
you're muted.
My bad. The DB5 and the 89 Batmobile would be on top of my list, but I would kind of reside with Clint Martin and choose Kit because it's just an awesome car. Especially I think season 4 is when it had the supersonic, travel where you could just get anywhere in 5 seconds. That'd be really cool if you're running late somewhere.
Yeah, oh my god, can you imagine? It would have to be able to speak to you though as well, right? Like you'd have to have the voice and be able to
and it has to have that legendary actor, what's his name? I forgot his name, but I love his voice. It's awesome.
Like from Knight Rider itself, the what the hell is his name now? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Like Kit?
Something Lewis. The actor's name? Anthony Daniels. Thank you. No, that's C3PO.
So you mean the voice of the
voice of Kid, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant the guy who drives it, which is David Hasselhoff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right. So is it David Hasselhoff? Right? I'm not messing that up.
Yeah, no, that is.
Yeah, it's been a while. Cool. Yeah. What about you, Luis? Luis, what do you think, buddy? Who would what
money
in the collection?
Money aside. Yeah, money aside, which means I have a ton of space, I would just blow this up in 1/1 scale. Seeing the Falcon at Galaxy's Edge, Disneyland, that's one of the things we always have to stop by and see it. So having a full scale Falcon, top of the list, 100%. From a vehicular side, I would go with the land speeder.
Nice.
Being that it's already been done, practically as a car, just with a big shell on it, I would do the land speeder and then probably the Tumbler right after. Not to say that I wouldn't love an 89. I love that vehicle itself, but definitely Falcon and then land speeder would be top 2.
Crazy. I was just thinking about it. For how many super rich people are in the world, it's insane that nobody has a Millennium Falcon house.
It's crazy.
Something that you can literally just live in. How crazy would that be? Like,
yeah,
maybe one does exist. I just don't know about it. But
I mean, I know they have the jumper. They have a blow up inflatable jumper, which I was tempted to just rent maybe one of these days. But even that's huge, man. I don't have the space for that. I did tell Yost that if he ever does, and he had similar, we asked him, Philly asked if he could make any 1/6 scale vehicle. He said the Falcon, hands down. And I know Hot Toys did it for their displays, but I told him I would be possibly up for that just to keep it in the garage, which we park no cars in the garage. I would have that in my garage. Oh yeah. So Yost, if you do it, if you build it, I will come.
Even if he has to build it
in what way?
In more ways than one.
Stop. Or pause. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I can't even imagine how big that would have to be. That would be insane because I've even seen the 6 scale replicas of the TIE fighters, and those things are wildly huge. For sure. Crazy. Good thoughts, guys. Calvin, do we still got you, buddy, or did he pop out? I think he popped out for a few minutes.
He pointed to his
No, I pointed. I gave you my answer.
Oh, the Batmobile. Fair.
There it is, right in faces.
By the way, very
That
crispy
looks
display.
amazing.
I saw you posted up. Why is it? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. That looks
Fresh out the box this morning.
beautiful.
Damn.
Man.
That's
Beautiful.
dope.
Yeah, I saw you posted it in
smell
our
it.
Instagram group. So nice.
Yes,
So
sir.
nice.
Mine is on its way.
Congrats, buddy. That's awesome.
Mm.
Very excited. Very excited. Yost did a great job with those. 100%.
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I was gonna say, this is not the first licensed movie or film Batmobile out there right now. I don't know who doesn't know, but there's this joint called Fiberglass Freaks, and they have licensed by Warner Brothers. They make 66 Batmobiles. I want to say between like $1 and $2 million is their price point.
Like 1-to-1 scale, you're meaning? Like
1-to-1 scale, yeah. Drivable. People own these right now. It's crazy. There's a whole thing. Like if you go on YouTube and look at it, yeah, they look really, really good, and they really go to the trouble of putting in the details on it. It's that's really cool. Yeah,
I think it was what Jay Leno had like a pretty wild car collection at one point. I think he had a Tumbler if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, guys, let's move on. Because we got lots on the show sheet. We got over 40 people already watching live with us, getting nuts today. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. It is great to see you guys all back. We got a super chat from my friend Valkyrie Magnus, a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, dude, for your generosity. Always gives me some of the first and best comments on my YouTube videos every week. Always look forward to chatting back and forth with you there. But he says, "The spy who loved me, Lotus, a spirit that can turn into a submarine." That would be a wild choice, good sir. 100%. But let's give you one of these as well, good sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, good sir. And you are my number one guy for the day. First super chat of the day. So I'll give you one extra.
Remember, you are my number one guy.
I always love how intense that clip is.
Best line from that movie.
But guys, so housekeeping before we say hey to everybody in the chat. If you are interested, we do have our channel membership, of course, to the Tough Nut Crew. These are some of the badges that will appear beside your name if you're a channel member. It helps me identify who are whenever we're here with the live show. I still think the Bub Nut is my favorite, but I am taking recommendations in the new year to switch some of these up, as well as the chat emojis. So if you guys are interested there, I'll put the link in the chat there below. But I do think we should say hi to everybody as they're all rolling in. So let's do that.
Is that everyone? I keep wanting more.
Nuts!
Assemble.
Nuts assemble. Guys, we have a lot of folks here to say hello to, so I'll do this as quickly and as effectively as we can. We got Valkyrie Magnus again. Hello, good sir, channel member, super chatter of the day. Thanks for being here, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. We got X-Men Supreme on the panel, in the membership, and in the chat, of course, as well. Good to see you here, buddy. We got Thrawn's office. Look at those legs. Just a bunch of fun assholes around here. You'll love to see it. We got Fickercraft in the chat, in the panel, on the membership. Thank you so much for being here, buddy, as well. We got Clinton Martin. Good to see you, buddy. Howdy, folks. Good to see you here, my friend. We got Sith Scale Collector, Mr. Mike in the chat, in the panel, on the membership. Love you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a great day with the family. We got Feel the Burn here with us as well, with a hello. Good to see you here as well, of course. We got Big Rib, as Dean would say. It says, hello, Ben. What's up, everybody? Good to see you, buddy. Channel member again in the chat as well. Good to see you, my friend. We got Aaron Collects with us. Good to see you here as well. What's up, family? Love to see you here, buddy. Thanks for being here. We got Pop Culture Relics again in the chat, on the panel, on the membership. Thanks so much for being here, buddy. Good to see you. We got Jose G. Hernandez, Jose Plus, on the channel membership as well as in the chat with us. Hey, everyone. Good to see you, buddy. Just in case everybody has missed it or anybody has missed it, Jose just posted his very first YouTube Hot Toys review on his channel, Jose Plus. So make sure you go over there, check it out, subscribe. It was a much shorter take on an unboxing.
not Hot Toys.
Thank you for the correction. The in-art, yeah, he's going to fact check me any moment here. You hate to see it. The in-art Superman, which I'm on record teasing Jose is saying I don't think it looks like Henry Cavill, but I'm trolling. It's a pretty awesome figure. One of the things that I liked about his review is that he cut a lot of like the extensive accessory sections out, right? He kind of just showed it in posing as opposed to going through absolutely every accessory that most of us skip through that portion of the review anyways. So definitely check that out for sure. But Ryan Dean here in the chat with us as well says, "What's good, Ben? Philly Lewis, X-Men Supreme in chat. Hope everyone's good and doing well, dude. I hope you're doing well." Ryan Dean recently had some items stolen from his storage unit. A lot of his Hot Toys were taken, which is absolutely devastating. So, dude, I hope your spirits are good. And thank you so much for being here, getting nuts with us today as well. We got King Dingaling in the chat with us on the channel membership as well. Good to see you, buddy. He says, "What's up, guys?" We got Andre here with us. 1/6 custom. A Big Bretta. Can you imagine a Big Bretta? Although it might look a little bit like Gru from what's that movie called? The Minions movie. A little bit.
Despicable
like
Me.
Gru.
That's
Despicable Me. He's gonna come after me for that. You know it's gonna happen. We got JB in the chat with us as well. Life-size Tom Cruise inside the D-top. Yeah, inside it. That'd be hilarious. Let's see here. I want to make sure we don't miss anybody. We got Mark P in the chat with us as well. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. So, what's up, collectors? You'll love to see it. We got Renz Tolentino in the chat as well. Some wild artwork comes out of this, man. If you have not had a chance to check it out, I think it's Renz _ you guys can help me with this. I forget what his Instagram handle is now. I should write this down. But Renz Tolentino on Instagram. Definitely go check his artwork out. I've got his Wednesday, his Jenna Ortega one from about a year and a half ago up in my laundry room. Beautiful piece of artwork for sure. Honest Hansel in the chat with us as well. Been a minute since I got nuts. Let's get nuts. Good to see you here, buddy. Thanks for popping in. I think we almost have everybody. Thanks for bearing with me here. Agent Silver Fox already said hey, but good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here as well. Let's just make sure real quick. Low Key Collector, of course, in the channel. And, of course, on the panel. Good to see you here, buddy. I think this is actually a newer name as well. We got Harry Dempsey in the chat. A guy in India makes the 66 Batmobiles, and they're much cheaper, 100 to 200,000. Well, then I can afford it, honestly. Thank goodness. No, it's good to know, buddy. That's awesome. Thanks for shouting that out for sure. We got Figure It Out, which is a great channel name, by the way. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. We got Blue Thunder 66488. That is a hard one to read out, but I'm happy that you were here. He says, "Hey, all, good to see you, buddy." And then, of course, we got Collection Obsession on the channel membership, and in the chat, he says, "Hi, all," with a nut fun button. Love to see it. Batman _ collectibles here as well. Let's talk some DC. Oh, we will. Oh, we will for sure. We got Daguito in the chat. I'm surprised no one said the Dark Knight Bat Cycle. Yeah, that's a cool one as well, actually. And then Blurred Dad Life, of course, in the channel membership and on the chat with us, says, "I need some cheering up after another abysmal Bears loss." See, if you were watching hockey, I could relate to you, my friend, but I don't know about the Bears. You guys can share if you guys are familiar with the Bears. I feel like Marco would definitely be the best bet at that. But
I gave him perspective. I gave him some perspective.
Did you? You
gave him some perspective. I would be a Cowboy fan.
You hate to see it.
The future's bright. Williams will be okay. Just know it's part of the process. Trust the process.
Hell yeah. Guys, thanks for being here all with us. Over 40 people in the chat. Love to see you all here. Guys, let's move on because I want to get into our first entertainment news topic before we get into the 6 scale stuff. This popped up for me this week, and I'm wondering how you feel about the casting. So Macaulay Culkin joins the cast of Fallout Season 2. Now, I would say, honestly, one of my favorite shows of this past year was Fallout. I thought it was amazing. In fact, it actually re-inspired me to go back in and play Fallout 4, to which I put a ton of freaking hours into that game. But I loved the world building this show. If you guys missed Season 1, I would totally recommend checking it out, especially if you liked the game. This made me laugh because, over time, I feel like Macaulay Culkin has slowly come out of the woodwork for certain projects. I don't know if his residual fund is ever going to run out, let's be honest, on Home Alone. That's still a huge holiday favorite for everybody. But I'm excited to see him back. If he's coming back apparently as like some kind of computer science tech or something along those lines, I'm kind of hoping he might help introduce the synths to this world, because that's a huge aspect of the game. With the synths are essentially like robotic beings within the world of Fallout. So if he's some kind of science nerd, maybe that could be where he goes there. But just curious for you, Philly, are you a Macaulay Culkin fan? What did you think of the show if you had a chance to see it, or does this inspire you to watch it if you missed it?
I haven't seen the show. It is in my to-do list because I heard great things about this show. And child actors doing comebacks. That's not really the first time. What was his name? Wei Kwang, with Everything Everywhere All at Once. He came back as an actor. He was in Indiana Jones, and it's very possible that he's doing really good right now too, doing more movies. And I think so, yeah. And Macaulay Culkin coming back, that'd be awesome. Hopefully, we can maybe somehow get from Terminator 2, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. The kid, he seems like he's not doing so well. Hopefully he can come back, and because he was a serious actor.
From which one? Sorry,
John Connor.
Yeah.
Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong. Yeah.
Edward Furlong. Yeah, it'd be really cool for him to come back because he was really talented. It's just unfortunate to see these kid actors. They start really early and they get into drugs and stuff like that, and it just lives fall apart. But that's when you get down, you just kind of get right back up. So hopefully we can see more of that.
Well, like for me, like Macaulay Culkin when I was a kid was both Home Alone, but also Richie Rich. It was right in that sweet spot of time for me age-wise, where I loved that movie back in the day. And then we'd rewatched it on Collecting Weekly there, 2 years ago, and everybody made fun of that movie, which, I mean, it doesn't necessarily hold up anymore, I will say. But, I'd be happy to see him as an adult actor make a name for himself as a new character that people really love, right? Because I have to imagine over time it would be hard to get out of that shadow of Home Alone. But he's done a good job of also making fun of himself. I've seen some of his shorts where he's like, now an adult and he's home alone, right? And stuff like that. It's kind of funny. So what about you, Marco? I don't even know if you are like a Fallout fan or Macaulay Culkin fan, but does this make you more interested, less interested, relatively neutral? Is it a nothing burger, as Eddie would say? What are your thoughts on this?
Wow. I was the one that was telling you got to watch the Fallout show, so it's disappointing to know you stream with someone every Tuesday, and they don't even take your recs. But no, I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was awesome. Like one of the most well done video game adaptions, just because it was like familiar, but then a whole new story, right? So you didn't necessarily know where it was going, but everything felt authentically Fallout, which is more of what I want to see. Whereas Last of Us was incredible. But it was, all right, I know this story so well. I've played this game so many times. So I think Macaulay Culkin is just a great addition to this. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I haven't seen him around in a while. His brother was killing it on Secession. So time for him to kind of, have his full-on comeback. I think he's been on like TikTok, and he's been kind of in the media sphere, but not necessarily a project of this caliber. And I will just say the little Hispanic guy, I think he was like a child actor from Hannah Montana. And then, they brought him and he killed it. Like, he was fantastic in the role. So whoever's casting for this show really knows how to pick talent. So, yeah, why not? I think he'll be a great addition.
I loved the main actress in this. I forget what her name is now. The girl in the poster here. I thought she was amazing. I thought she crushed that role. In fact, to the point where I would love a 6-scale representation of her even. I think that could be really cool in her Vault-Tec outfit there for sure. Guys, Calvin, I'm going to get you on the next one here because the next one is actually a Batman topic. The Batman's next villain reportedly getting a spin-off after the Penguin, reported by CBR, and this is kind of floating around in terms of rumor right now. Now, of course, the Penguin is just coming up to its completion of its first season on HBO Max and Crave if you're in Canada. I haven't seen it yet. I purposely haven't watched it. I wanted to wait till it was complete to be able to kind of sit there and binge it. And shockingly, it hasn't been spoiled for me yet, so I think I'm going to have to get to it sooner than later, of course. And all I've heard are good things. Now, Colin Farrell was already awesome, I thought, in the Batman, the movie itself. It sounds like this universe is really tying in kind of not only his character, but also kind of tying back into Batman and some of the, of course, cool character and story arcs there. The last time I watched a show about Gotham was the TV show called Gotham, featuring Ben McKenzie as the role of Gordon, and I thought that show did a pretty good job on most of the characters. But this is interesting because I gotta say, in the in the end credit scene of the Batman film, I didn't totally love this Joker representation. I found him hard to look at because he's so gnarly, and I don't love this actor. But what I think would be really cool is having a Joker in this universe, because I think it also helps to set the stage of who else could come within this universe. So I'm on the fence. Don't love Barry Keoghan, but I also think that having the Joker in this world could be really, really cool. Calvin, I want to go to you first, buddy. When you heard about this news, maybe you haven't yet. Is this something that gets you more excited? And are you fatigued by the Joker character, or are you all about getting another version in the world?
I'm ecstatic in this new world of the Batman. Love the movie. I am head over heels about this show. Like I told you guys, I had a movie at 4. I canceled it because I was like, oh shit, that's going to stop me from being able to catch the finale at start point. So I was like, I'll just stay home and catch it when it hits. But I did read, I mean, everybody went bonkers about this news, but I did read somewhere that James Gunn has debunked this. I think, and Jose just said it as well. So I don't know if this is, I mean, usually he's always responding to the fans about what is and what is not. He could be lying though. But just like you said, gnarly depiction, but in this world, I'm all for it. If Matt Reeves and I'm not even putting James Gunn on this world. This is all Matt Reeves. So whatever he wants to do, I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, because that was actually going to be my response to Jose's comment there as well. Jose had said, same as kind of what Calvin just said. This has been debunked by James Gunn. He said it's not happening. Could be lying, though. I feel like it could be at least a misdirect, at the very least. But at the same time, I don't know.
I was going to say the same thing too, excited. Ben, because I was going to say the same thing too, because Colin Farrell has really obviously made a note, like obvious that he doesn't want to do it anymore. So maybe that's why they're trying to, go along with the popularity of the show and kind of venture on to other characters, including the what's her name, the girl, what's her name, Calvin? I forgot. No, the Italian.
Sofia Gigante.
Thank you, Sofia Gigante. Yeah, so that'd be really cool for them to venture onto that.
Hell yeah! I gotta watch the show, of course, for sure. Philly, is there another character that you'd rather see in the universe in terms of a rogues villain for Batman? Or is the Joker the one that you'd be like, yeah, I'd want to see that again?
I think Mr. Freeze would be a potential, good candidate, because we haven't seen, aside from Arnold's version and the animated series version, it was perfect for that. And I think it would transition really good into a series, if not part of a movie. So I think that's a good pick.
Heart of Ice, some of the best animated television show episode of Mr. Freeze in existence. If there's any way you've missed it from the Batman animated series, 100% great recommendation, Philly, for sure. Louis, same question for you, buddy. In terms of a Joker coming back, obviously we've seen a lot of Jokers now, and we even have a lot of Joker news to talk about in 6 scale today. Is this a Joker that interests you, or would you rather see a different villain coming into the Matt Reeves universe? What are your thoughts?
I'm a huge Joker fan, so I would definitely be up for it. I really like the Batman. I haven't watched the series yet, so I apologize, Calvin and Philly. Don't kick me out of the group, but I do plan to. What kind of gets me a little bit is you have the Reeves universe, then you have the James Gunn setting up his universe. So it's like, I don't want to get too invested in Reeves possibly, and then Gunn, because I was invested in obviously Zack Snyder's, and look where that happened and where we ended up. So I may just kind of wait to see more material from Reeves, but anytime there's a Joker, of course, I'd always be down to see how they do that rendition, get that Leto taste out of my mouth. The quicker the better.
I've never heard anybody refer to it as the Leto taste before.
Say it again. Say it again.
Although I will say his the Snyder cut of Justice League, the very end, that Joker, that was great. I think that summed up the best performance of Leto Joker. Like, give me that, and that can redeem himself. But wasn't official.
Because I saw one that was an unofficial release of that figure, right?
Yeah.
Like a third-party one that was floating around at one point. And that actually looked pretty good from my recollection. But
Yeah.
I personally hated that monologue at the end of the extended cut that he was talking about them jerking each other off, and I was like, what are we saying here? I don't know. It didn't resonate with me personally.
You gotta be shitting me, Marco.
Said something about a reach around. I was like, whoa, all right. I missed that comment.
Marco, I'll go to you then, buddy. Just since we got you, you're a big Joker fan. What did you think of Barry Keoghan's like deleted scene at the end of that movie? Was it something that you were like, oh, I got to see more, or did you dislike it? Kind of like how I felt. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was interesting that they were teasing Joker, but I didn't like the design. Yeah, like you said, he's gnarly. It's just kind of not my Joker necessarily. And then also to feel like they're setting up Joker for a second film. Now, maybe they've shifted away from doing so, right? But it's like you can't introduce Joker in a second film that's already been done, and it's arguably been done in a way that's not even touchable in my mind, right? So I think they're just setting themselves up for failure if they keep trying to chase what Nolan already did. So if they did a whole show and kind of went with this version of the Joker, I think it could be interesting at least. But I don't know if you're going to want to look at this face for an entire series, but I might have said the same about the Penguin, and that's working out really well. So I'm willing to give the same creative crew, a little leeway here, but they really have a uphill battle in my opinion, because it's a different take on the Joker that I don't know. I'm not that excited for.
It'd be interesting, I think, if he was kind of stuck in Arkham Asylum, for example, and Batman went in and just got some levels of advice or ways of thinking kind of other, street level criminals or other kind of baddies in the universe. But then, if he was kind of playing almost like a fourth dimensional chess game out of it, right? Maybe it's his way to try and escape Arkham Asylum by helping Batman. Like, not seeing him all the time, but having him kind of salt and peppered in could be cool. But I agree, like looking at him for a 2-hour movie or a whole series could be a little gnarly. That's for sure. David,
I'd like to say that because it was a deleted scene, they could revamp this image of him. Like,
that's true.
There was nothing definitive on screen for this, so and they've
That's a
heard
great
everybody's opinion of this at this point, so they could come with something else and shock
I hope
us.
so. You're right.
Well, because in the comic, when the Joker gets his face messed up like this, like that is a whole comic book where he gets his face cut off and he has to restaple it back on. And they actually had highlighted that in the show Gotham with I think it was the actor who plays Cal Kestis, if I'm not mistaken. That he played an amazing Joker. He was like really freaking good, actually. But it was also a gnarly take on it. But they could go like almost like a pre-time to this, right? Like before his face gets messed up as well, just to see kind of how it happens potentially. So we'll see. Dave, I saw you chuckling over there. What are your thoughts on Joker? And
I was just laughing about the whole what Marco was saying about jerking each other off. Like come on, man. Wouldn't it be cool? I mean, don't you just love the idea of the Joker?
Oh my God.
I mean, when the Joker said it was Jorkin time, come on, man.
Holy shit!
Oh my God!
But
be a wild six scale display.
Oh my gosh! And then you can get like all your Jokers together. It could be like a circle jork. But I think what we're talking about. I think this was this is an interesting idea. I think because like you were saying, talking about how we're kind of almost done with the Penguin, basically. Just because Colin Farrell's like it's a lot. He doesn't really want to do it again, and I get it. I was thinking maybe it would be interesting to. And I don't know, maybe this is overdone. If we went back in time and did like a prequel almost and kind of got like early Joker in this universe, or
I like that.
Or if because that would be cool to see how he got to this point. But also it might be interesting to see like another story that's been done a couple of times in the mythos is put Batman in Arkham, put the criminals in charge, have them get them in there and do the whole trial thing and have just all the bad guys, because we all know who the Batman villains are. Like, we don't need to introduce everybody, I don't think.
No,
just how like we did with Joker here. Just he's there, and we get it. So that could be interesting. Have like the Batman in Arkham story kind of thing where they're just trying to make him pay for making them pay or whatever you want to call it. Have him fight his way out or something. That could be interesting maybe, but I don't know if that's a thing that the general populace would really, because we gotta water things down a little bit for a lot of folks.
For sure.
Like I think the multiverse thing, people complain about it, how convoluted it is, but I'm telling you right now, comic fans have been dealing with this shit our whole lives. So let them have it. I say, I think it's great. But
Totally.
But yeah, I think it's interesting, this take on the Joker, because we already got the kind of deformed, grotesquerie kind of Joker with Heath Ledger. Not to this degree, of course. But I don't know. I mean, he got messed up, and that really shouldn't be as pretty as it is in the comics, so to speak.
Right.
So nice and even and symmetrical and just a perfect smile. And I don't know. I kind of dig this idea, but I think it depends on the actor and how he does it, and he can probably do it fine. I don't really know a lot about him outside of Eternals, and I like him there.
Lovely.
But
yeah, he was in another show, Saltburn. So Saltburn that I watched for the minute. That was pretty messed up. But no, I'm just not a huge fan of this actor so far. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. I wasn't a huge Robert Pattinson fan before his version of Batman either, and he really sold me on his representation. So, and
a lot of folks were into Heath Ledger before he showed us all wrong.
Yeah, A Knight's Tale, Brokeback Mountain, right? Some of those movies, I was like, I don't know about him as Joker, but he absolutely crushed it.
They didn't want Keaton in '89.
They did not.
That's also true. Yeah,
Mr. Mom, what? No.
Yeah, 100%. We don't say that name here though, but I would say. Did I say that a lot? I would say, with regards to Mr. Freeze, Philly, I think I like yours recommendation the best in terms of a villain, because one of the things that I liked about Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was, despite him being a little crazy and a little scary, we also could understand his level of motivation up to a certain extent, and it made him a sympathetic villain. And I think anytime you feel that dichotomy within yourself of, we don't want to support him because we know he's the villain, but we also get where he's coming from, I think Mr. Freeze can bring that to the table in a lot of ways as well. He becomes Mr. Freeze because he's trying to save his wife, Nora, right?
Thanos is right, and we all know Thanos is right.
That's right. And like, if we know for sure that Mr. Freeze becomes Mr. Freeze because he's trying to save the love of his life, and that's what puts him into that kind of villain category, then as Batman, how do you stop him? Because that by stopping him, you're also killing his wife. But it's usually the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, right? And so what do you do? And it puts you in a very unique moral position. I think that could be a really good story for live action. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Joker. Guys, let us know in the comments down below. Of course, if you're watching our replay, what are your thoughts on this possible news of a Barry Keoghan Joker series? If it's been debunked, then I'm curious to see what James Gunn's going to do with maybe a future Joker as well in his own universe. I did want to really highlight this. We don't have to go round table on the panel, but this just made me laugh, so I wanted to add it in. It says here from Screen Rant, the new official Stranger Things set photos shows the kids looking like full-blown adults. Because... well, they are. Noah Schnapp, Finn Wolford, Gaten Mazzaro, and Kayla McLaughlin are 20, 21, 22, and 23. And this will, of course, be the 5th season that will take place in the fall of 1987, which is, I was born in June 1st, 1987. So you love to see it. I loved season 4. I will give it that. I think it was actually the best season so far of Stranger Things, at least in my opinion. So I am excited to see what happens with a season 5 here. But it is funny that, of course, age is just a thing. It sneaks up on all of us. And these guys are not getting any younger, so they're going to definitely have to wrap this up pretty quick. Are any of you guys big fans of Stranger Things? Is it something that you're looking forward to, or are you ready for this show to be kind of over and done with? Anybody can
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I think I need to finish the last 2 episodes of the last season. I fell off of that, but otherwise I've enjoyed it since the start of it, so I look forward to seeing what they come with.
See how it ends. Do you think that this should be the fifth and final season? I think is kind of what they're saying, right? So
I mean,
yeah,
they're gonna
fifth and
still keep
final.
being kids. They're about to be in college in a minute.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. And I mean, they can only escape these demigorgons, I think, so many times before it's kind of all over. Luis, was this one that you had watched? Is something you're excited for? To come
Oh yeah,
or-
for sure, man.
Yeah.
I think all of us as children of the '80s, I'm just loving the series. You know, I'm whatever about their looks. I think half of them at least look pretty similar, Finn and Gaten. But yeah, I'm ready for season 5. I think it'll be 2 years since the last season 4 and this one. But you know, it'll be bittersweet for the end. I'm sure it'll be great. They keep feels to me like every season gets a little bit better. So it'll be exciting to see how they finish it. But yeah, I mean, bring it. I was born 1 year prior to this, so I'm all for it.
Crazy.
Luis,
Crazy.
I'm with you there, and with Jose saying as well. Like, it feels like they're getting better. It feels like it's getting really strong. Vecna was awesome, and so normally I'd say like, okay, 5 seasons of this would have been too much, but it's like, oh, they're actually cooking right now. So let's see what else they can do.
Yeah,
100%.
hopefully it ends on a really strong note. That's for sure, right? So
No Game of Thrones
guys,
here.
No Game of Thrones.
Damn.
Yeah, season 8. Wanted to put this up just to share some love. The 7-year-old gray squirrel, rescue squirrel, commonly referred to as Peanut on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, was put to death along with Fred the raccoon. So the animals could be tested for presence of rabies, according to a statement from the agency obtained by WETM. So if you guys aren't familiar with the story, this is a rescue squirrel and a rescue raccoon were owned by kind of an influencer couple. I guess they were kind of taken from this family, if I'm not mistaken. And I guess Peanut bit one of the people who had taken him, probably because he was scared. And they put these little critters to death. Obviously, we talk a lot about nuts on here with lots of different innuendos. But it was appropriate to call out Peanut because, you know what? I think it's pretty nuts that anybody can go into anybody's house and essentially take their pet, government or none. So I think this story is worth looking into at the very least. We won't go into it in too full of detail, but it actually made me sad to listen to the story and to see the couple talking about these, essentially their pets being taken out of their home. Did you guys have any thoughts on that story at all that had popped up, if you were familiar with it at all?
I've been following them.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I started following them this year, actually, early this year. They hit my Instagram feed, and Peanut was just fucking awesome, dude. Always, like eating the waffles or climbing up the dude's shirt while he's cooking or something, and because he tried to return him to the wild after he got him all ready to go, and he ended up getting hurt by some other animal, I think it was, and then he ended up coming back and he tried to release him again, I think, and then it just wasn't working out. So rather than let him go out there and just not survive, take care of him. Yeah. And they were, and this is not like just a one-off thing for them. They were, this is a thing that they do, at large, and it's just like, it's shitty that some fucking Karen can wield this much power. It's just awful. It's awful. Yeah.
Sure. Marco, what you're gonna add there, buddy?
I was gonna say you're Canadian, so I forgive you, but this story actually became like pretty politicized here, and so it's interesting. It's interesting to add, but I think the only villain is really that Karen that wouldn't just leave Peanut alone, because Peanut's just, like you said, if you're separating the pet from its owner, it's probably going to be scared. So yeah, it's just a bummer situation all around.
Yeah, for sure. And not to bring it down, of course, but I did want to call him out because Peanut, he was really cute, and it's a sad story, but I think it requires some awareness for sure as well. Not on the political side, just in terms of I don't think anybody should have their pets taken away. And then, there should be better regulation on that. I think it should be investigated. So we'll move on to the next one here. Yeah, 100%. Justice for Peanut. I saw Clinton Martin put in the chat. Heck yeah. Totally agree there. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Tony Todd. Recently passed away. An amazing actor. I think for the most part, most of us, if you're not a big Star Trek fan, will likely recognize him as his scary self from the Candyman, of course. But for me, he played multiple Star Trek characters within the universe, including his most iconic, in my opinion, which was Kurn, which was Worf's brother. Always loved him as an actor. Very awesome voice presence to this person. Crazy voice. And we lost him within the same week as Quincy Jones as well. So two really iconic people in our world. Quincy Jones was 91. Tony Todd was 69. So in my opinion, 69 is not nearly old enough for such an awesome person. And for those of you guys who may not be aware, Tony Todd was also the voice of Venom. So there was a statement that was put out by Insomniac Games that says, Insomniac Games is heartbroken by the passing of our friend Tony Todd. He brought so much joy to our studio during the production of Marvel Spider-Man 2 and to many fans around the world with his with his imitable voice and presence. We are Venom forever. I do know that they were looking at doing, Insomniac Games was looking at actually doing a Venom game specifically. So I'd be curious if he's either already voiced that, maybe it's now in post-production, or if they're going to have to change that up. But yeah, Marco, did you have any thoughts on Tony Todd's passing here at all, just with regards to either Venom, his voice there, or iconic roles that he's been in?
Really upbeat topics, Ben, but no, honestly, right? Tony Todd is, just an incredible legend. And so, yeah, the Venom project was actually one of the first ones that I thought of because, his horror stuff I've never been brave enough to really watch, but obviously a fan. And, this one was rumored, and we don't know if it's going to be kind of a standalone game like Miles Morales or probably not DLC. I think they've said it's not. So I hope that, with all the post-processing of the voice, if there's anything that's not complete, that they can, put out that product as kind of an homage to him. And we can all just, kind of spend some more time with him. But yeah, just RIP in peace. And yeah, obviously, again, a legend.
Hell yeah, legend. Any thoughts there, Loki, on Tony Todd? I saw you nod when I mentioned Quincy Jones as well. Obviously, both pretty iconic folks.
Marco said what he said was already great. Outside of not watching his horror movies, that's blasphemous. But I'm
not brave enough. You've seen me on a roller coaster.
You're right. You're right. I can't even say nothing about that. This has just been a hell of a year. And I said it in somebody's chat earlier, I think Friday. I was like, I'm over 2024. There's always been a rule of thumb. They say they come in threes when we have passings. And I think we're on number 40 this year as far as legends that we've lost. And it's like they just keep on coming. And so it's like, damn. Now, granted,
James Earl Jones earlier in the year.
Right. Quincy got 91. James Earl Jones, I know he was in his late 90s, early 90s, I believe, but 69 is not old, y'all. It's still a lot left to live. And it's just like, damn, they just keep on coming. So love and hug on your loved ones today, because you never know what tomorrow holds. But this hurt. And we missed Marco. Remember, we had just missed him at the PCS booth last year. When he was viewing his statue, and we were like minutes from missing him when we got over there. So yeah, it sucked because I was looking forward to seeing him. But rest in peace.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you guys think that this is going to bring any more excitement for the Venom figure that's coming from Hot Toys? That 21 inches of Venom, because again, technically that is voiced by Tony Todd, which could then feel like a bit of a representation or kind of a positive celebration of that actor in our actual collections. What do you guys think of that? No?
It's still $500 and it's still 20 inches tall. That's a lot of space and a lot of money for a lot of people. So
yeah, true.
I think it'll still sit.
True. And it's not like it has his face, right, or anything like that. Right. So yeah, no, that's fair. Guys, let's move on. But I was rest in peace, Tony Todd, Quincy Jones, and all the other iconic folks who we've lost this year, as well as Peanut there, of course, as well. Guys, we have some 6-scale news to jump into. Marco, I know you said you're running out of time there, buddy. Are you still good for a couple more minutes, or do you need to roll out?
Yeah, I'll do this last topic and then jump off, if that's cool.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Mondo Toys has brought us another banger here, in my opinion. Now, Mondo Toys has been on an absolute roll with regards to Batman figures. Of course, I love some of the Batman animated series figures that I've got in their 6-scale line. The X-Men line. Of course, the Masters of the Universe line has gone wild. And now, of course, they're looking at that Spider-Man animated series line and a Batman Beyond line. Terry McGinnis, I always want to say Terry Metalis, which is the showrunner of Star Trek. Terry McGinnis was not always my favorite Batman, but I will say that I loved Batman Beyond. I thought he was like a great character. Seeing old Bruce Wayne kind of being his mentor in that show, I thought was really, really cool as well. But I didn't love a lot of the universe building otherwise around Batman Beyond. I still would say that the animated series is where my heart is at. But I do think that this could look really cool in a display. Luis, have you gone down any of the Mondo lines, whether, again, it's any of the other ones that I mentioned, or is this something that was interesting for you? What are your thoughts, buddy?
I love the characters that they're bringing out. Me personally, they just seem like blown up, like Marvel Legends, Black Series. And for the price of like a standard 1/6 scale figure, I just can't get behind that. I mean, it's no no grudge on people who are all for it. I mean, they're great characters, and we may not ever see these in like a true Hot Toys style fashion. Although that brings us up to our next topic soon about what's upcoming from them. But I was actually excited for the Thing figure, the Kurt Russell one that they did. That one has got me a little bit more interested to see with the mixed media what they can bring forward. So I'm hoping they do just more mixed media 1/6 scale. But it's a great character, and the figure looks great. But just because it's fully kind of sculpted, I was just never a big fan of anything fully sculpted. But it looks great nonetheless. It's just not for me.
For sure. It was interesting, Luis, because today I was at the farmer's market before I got on the show. And I've been collecting these guys for quite some time here. It's the Batman animated series lineup in the 7-inch scale. And I've got like a ton of them up above me here. And I was really excited about this one because the original Two-Face that came out by DC Direct was like $250. So I was really, really excited to get this one in hand. I also got the Batgirl in hand today, which was kind of fun. So that'll be my new this week on Collecting Weekly. But one of the reasons I wanted to show those is because, to me, these are 6-scale versions of what I already have in my collection in a lot of ways. And because there's so many characters within these lines, it almost is hard for me to justify a 6-scale version. Like, I already have 15 of these smaller scale ones. I can't even imagine having a 6-scale display like that. But at the same time, I'd be curious, Loki, what are your thoughts here on Mondo lines? Have you gotten into any of the Mondo lines, or have any of them tickled your interest? What are your thoughts?
I have bypassed and skipped this line on purpose for a long time. Yeah. Just because Batman series is one that has always had my attention, as well as X-Men and everything else they've come with. I wanted to get the Phantasm piece, and because I didn't get the exclusive parts that went with it, I bypassed that one. And then I came up on the thanks Feezy, because he got me with the Mr. Freeze, the Noir edition one. So I do have that one, but I don't plan to get it. I looked at this one and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. So but otherwise I've skipped them. I think they look good, but I've got my hand in too many other avenues to go down this line.
Absolutely. We got Brick Artemis in the chat here. Good to see you, buddy. I like that you've added the Santa hat to your logo. That's awesome. Looks really good, buddy. He says, these paint apps, size, and accessories are what stands apart for everything else, like Legends. And, I pushed back. I was watching Brick Artemis's his channel the other day on one of his live streams, and, he was saying he really liked these, and, like, no shade. I mean, I think that they look amazing, but I do worry they're going to have the same issue as these scale of figures have, which is paint application challenges. Whenever you bend them at the legs, oftentimes these start to chip. They don't stand very well on their own terms because, again, without a figure base, a lot of them have very narrow stance. So they're cool, and I think the accessories are great, But in terms of price point, when you're looking at well over $200 American, Canadian dollars here, anyways, for the Canadian fans watching, that's pushing $300 or more by the time you get these in the door. That's a lot of money when I can get these guys for, $35 Canadian. Marco, you're a big Batman fan, though, and a lot of us are, obviously. Today's a big, heavy DC day. What are your thoughts on Batman Beyond or any of the other lines that Mondo has given us? Have any of them got you so far? I know you're a big X-Men guy, so...
There's two things working against this figure for me. Number one is I never really made the transition from Batman the Animated Series to Batman Beyond. I kind of was at that cutoff. So similar to like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I stopped there and didn't continue on, or like Pokemon, like there's only 150 Pokemon I really knew, and then everything else beyond that was I never really got into. So not like a ton of nostalgia for Batman Beyond specifically, but I always appreciated the concept and the design. And then, Mondo, we talked about it with the Venom, I think recently, maybe last week, where it's like, okay, I'm highly considering this, but they're so expensive. If there was a world where Hot Toys didn't exist or these other 1/6 companies, I probably would collect these. This would probably be my representation of like, hey, I liked this stuff as a kid, and now as an adult, here's my more fancy or more expensive version of that. But I think because Hot Toys are just... they feel like the natural progression of my collecting, and these just feel like big action figures. Like Louis said, they kind of like big Marvel Legends, whether Brick wants to agree with that or not. But it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't fit my collection and what I'm looking for from this figure format. But I am afraid if I ever got one, I probably would want to get a bunch of them. But it's like, I'm okay staying in my lane of the more realistic look and leaving these as something that I just admire from afar.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Marco, and Luis as well, because I think one of the challenges that I've had with displaying Hot Toys is that the reason I got into Hot Toys was the DX11 Joker, and we're going to bring him up actually here shortly. But when I first saw that figure for the very first time, I was blown away by how they could make essentially a toy look like a real human being in a display format. And then obviously over the years of collecting, those paint applications have gotten better and better and better and better, to the point now where it's like, it's uncanny. Like some of these figures that we're getting nowadays are just like insanely realistic looking. And so getting those in the display is one thing, and then getting something like this that still gives me that nostalgic punch in the chest but looks so much more like a toy in comparison. To me, they don't fit in my display. They almost need their own room or their own wall or their own shelf. And maybe a lot of you guys display them that way. I'd be curious to know, Philly, since you have so many figures in behind you there, obviously you're a huge 6-scale lover and a big Batman fan. Is this something that you can fit in your display? How would you recommend people do it if they're interested in it, but feel that way of that immersion breaking like I feel?
I'm actually siding with you. I can't fathom. I tried Mondo. I had the Batman animated Batman from I think it was the exclusive one that was gray and black, and I loved that piece. It was great and very interesting. It came with a lot of accessories, but you're right. I mean, the whole reason why I got into collecting 1/6 scale, it's the paint apps and realism, and unfortunately, I just can't collect anything animated. That's why I'm a little particularly concerned about Batman the Animated Series, because I pre-ordered the Jazz Inc. Batmobile, so I'm wondering how because he is doing the 1/6 scale figures. I'm wondering how his figures are going to turn out, and I think he did mention what kind of feel he's going for. He's going not only he's not saying animated. He's going to be somewhere between a happy medium of realism and animated, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, unfortunately, these they're beautiful pieces, but they look like larger action figures when I was a kid. And that's the thing, is you're collecting on something that you want that represents that IP and it looks realistic. Unfortunately, looks beautiful. I'm actually looking at it and like, wow, that pose right there with the claw and the wing, that looks beautiful. But again, it's not for me. But for somebody that loves that stuff, I'm sure they'll definitely into getting this. So, but yeah, I'm right with you, Ben. I agree with you.
It's so hard because again, it's like when you love a property so much, you want those representations. but for me, it's even like the NECA Ninja Turtles, right? Like I've got the 90s movie NECA Ninja Turtles on the 7-inch scale just above me on this side, and Batman animated series on this side, and they're looking down on me. And to be honest, they're a perfect scale for me. They still represent my love in the collection without them having to be 6 scale, and they almost fit the immersion better because they are still very much action figure size. So they make sense to me that they look like action figures as opposed to it being in that 6 scale realistic format that I go for anyways. I wanted to give a quick special shout out. We got 1/6 scale man here in the chat with us. He says, Calvin got me right on this run right here. Bet. 100%, buddy. Good to see you for sure. Let's send Leal one of these.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. If you have somehow lived under a rock your entire 1/6 scale collecting life and you don't know about the 1/6 scale man YouTube channel, please go over and give the man a sub. He's a 100K channel in my mind. He needs to get there. He will for sure. I want to see you with that plaque, Leal. I want to see you with that plaque, good sir. I was watching Leal's channel long before I even decided to have a YouTube channel, and he helped me. What would you say? Slide down the slippery slope, that's for sure. So good to have you here, buddy.
You punked me on screen. You punked me to get on screen.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And honestly, Leal, I've been meaning to send you another invite, buddy. It's not personal by any stretch. I am horrible with organizing this show. These guys can attest to it. I typically am like, who wants to join Let's Get Nuts about 3 hours before the show starts. So I'll start trying to get better organized because I'd love to have you on the show at some point with me, buddy, for sure. Dave, last but certainly not least, I know we've talked a little bit about Mondo X-Men because you're a huge X-Men guy. Was this one line that you were interested in, or any of the Batman lines, at least from Mondo? What are your thoughts?
I think their Batman line looks really, really good, except for Batman himself, like the original. It's like I don't know what happened there. Like I think that character is just hard to recreate in 6 scale just because of the specifically simple design of the character. I think it works so much better in animation than it does, in a figure format, because you got to make joints and the lines they break in a specific way that just kind of kills it, I think. Sure. But that Harley, I want that Harley, and I want nothing less than the deluxe Harley. And I keep looking at the prices. I keep waiting to see something, and one of these days. But
100% we'll get it.
As far as Batman Beyond, I'm very conflicted about Batman Beyond because old, feeble Bruce Wayne hurts my heart, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I saw him in actually 7-inch scale today as well with his dog, and I thought that kind of looked cool as like an action figure size. But
yeah, I mean he's cool, but like it's hard. It's I don't want to trigger my existential dread, with my toys. So I kind of stay away from that. But as far as Mondo specifically goes, I was in the same place as a lot of people. I didn't want to do animated at all. So I was looking at the X-Men line. I was like, these look really cool, but like I'm not doing animated. Until that one figure, that one character that I wanted, they made Logan, in his street clothes, and I was like, well, I guess I'm into Mondo now.
I'm in.
And I will say, for those who are not sure about it, who are thinking about it, don't get into Mondo because they will get you. They will get you. You will immediately buy 12 of their figures because they are pretty incredible for what they are. Mine are all standing without their stands, and I have bombs going off. Like, see, I live in Oklahoma, and our U.S. Army ammo plant, like the ammo plant for the Army, is just a few miles outside of town. And every Thursday, they'll be destroying ordnance, and the whole town will shake.
Oh my God, that's crazy!
It's like it's ridiculous out here. It's like in a war zone for like 2 or 3 hours, and the walls will shake. You'll feel the floor shaking. It's nuts. But these figures hold up without their stands pretty well. Standing here in my,
I just want to say real quick, at least when your floor is about to shake, we just get random earthquakes over here, and you be like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's a scheduled tragedy, but like, no, they're really good. The thing about it is is I look at the smaller scale figures and I like them, but I don't like how the QC just isn't there in a lot of cases. And I would have a lot of smaller scale X-Men figures, but I don't like how they do, like, you'll have like the little mold artifacts, or like Wolverine's claws are never made of anything other than flimsy plastic and they look like shit. But these give me that in a much more refined form.
Mhm.
And these things are like pop art. I keep saying it, but it's true. Like the Jubilee figure, I think might be my favorite figure out of almost all of my figures.
She's
Like,
beautiful.
yeah, it looks really. The colors are amazing.
Like the yellow and the pink pops and the purples in there and stuff.
Oh yeah, and I've even gone as far as to intermingle them with, you know, other figures. Like I thought it would be cool to have Rogue and Gambit and Wolverine squaring off against animated Rogue, Gambit, and Wolverine. And
Hell yeah.
if we've learned anything from the Spider-Verse, we know that those walls are down. Like you can have, you know, real life looking Tobey Maguire standing next to animated Spider-Punk, and it works because we've seen it now. So I don't think that's a bother for me. But I will say, if you're thinking about getting into Mondo and you haven't, if you care about your wallet, don't do it. But if you want to have those characters that are from those, you know, cartoons that you loved, or if you want to have something that's kind of like the 6-inch figures, but actually, you know, really look good, it's a way to go. It's a way to go.
Well said, dude. Well said. And, you know, I don't think most of us care about our wallets necessarily. Like Marco's not even wearing pants right now because he can't afford it. He just goes on vacations and buys figures. But you know,
I asked for new
Calvin,
20s for Christmas, so we'll see. Fingers
that's
crossed.
right. And Calvin drops his drawers most often because he's got figures coming in. Like that's good. It's good. But no, well said, because these are pricey boys. I think that's actually my biggest complaint. I think if they were able to put these in at that $100 and even $65 price point range, you know, I think the downfall of Hano brand has that they've unveiled the curtain a little bit. It's like the Wizard of Oz effect. Once you know that 6-scale options can be made for significantly less than what we're often charged for them, it makes it a little harder of a tough nut to swallow when you have to now shill out over $200 for these, when you can look at a seamless Wolverine from Hano at $165. Like, that's insane. Like, why is this $80 more? To me, that part doesn't necessarily compute. It's harder for me to justify them for sure. Lael says Figurecraft is banned from figure photography. SV Prototype says this is the first Batman Beyond that got the proportions and head sculpt right too. He's one of my favorite Batmans, so very picky, which is good to hear, honestly. It's interesting. This is what I was trying to mention earlier. Harry Dempsey says the original DC Direct and McFarlane Animated have issues with displaying each, especially the smaller featured figures. Yeah, I swear to God, my apartment is haunted because every other day I get home and Poison Ivy has fallen over because I don't use like a figure base for her. It got to the point where I actually super glued her feet to one of the Zach's Zach's Wonderland bases that he 3D printed me. I literally glued it, and she still falls over. And I'm like, okay, what is happening here? Why does she not want to stay in the display? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But let's move on with our Batman topics, guys, because it's a DC day. We're going to talk about the Joker. We've got a bit of a Joker deep dive to go in after this to wrap us up at the end of the day here. Marco, you got a roll, or are you still okay for another one?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll. I want to talk about this one, but I'm gonna get caught up talking forever about this one. So maybe Tuesday we'll chat. But Ben, thanks for having me. Luis, Calvin, Philly, Dave, great streaming with you guys, and hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.
Take care, buddy.
Bye, Marco.
Thanks for dropping in, buddy.
See you guys. Later, boys.
Gotta pull up X-Men here. Oh yeah, see, like, what a crispy display. That looks so good. The colors, man, are so good.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and they've been standing like this for. I mean, I got Logan first. Well, I got Jubilee first, but I got Logan shortly after that, and they've been standing for almost a year now, for the most part. So yeah, I mean,
where'd you get the Gremlin Child? What's that? I don't recognize that.
You're muted, bro.
Oh, you're muted. You muted yourself.
that is one of my best things, man. That is NECA made those, the Ben Cooper Halloween costume figures.
Okay.
I wore that Gremlin costume in the 80s when I was a little kid. And I saw that and I was like, oh shit, I gotta have this. Yeah, this is the best thing, man. It's so awesome. And now I get to hang out with the X-Men. Little me gets to hang out with the X-Men. How cool is it?
That's awesome. In fact, actually, today when I saw these Batman animated series figures, they had a Joker in a Christmas costume, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know if I should buy that one too. Yeah, so we'll see. But Brick Artemis says $80 more because it's straight from the show and comes with so much more. So interesting you say that, Brick, because let's talk about this figure here. This is, of course, comic inspired Batman from, of course, The Dark Knight Returns. And this was cool because, I mean, one of the first things that I thought was, well, it's easily one of my favorite comic books of all time. Then my second thought was, okay, Hano has conditioned me a little bit, though, to be a bit fearful of jumping in on things right away. Because one thing that I've noted with regards to the Dark Knight Returns comic series, and it's a mixture of, I think, 4 books, if I'm not mistaken, those books have quite a few different looks with regards to, the Batman in his iconic comic form. And while this is a great version, I think one of the things that I like the most is the battle-damaged, blue-suited version from the Dark Knight Triumphant. I think that looks really cool. But as you can see here in this slide, there's lots of different looks for him. There's even have like a mechanized or like an armored suit version of the Batman in the comic as well. I could totally see, a Batman on a horse being a special option at some point. It makes it really hard to know whether we should just kind of jump in on these lines. Because when you take a look at the picture on the left, there are all the different looks and characters that could potentially come from this Frank Miller book. And by the way, if you guys haven't ever read it, it's not a very long comic. It's a really great story. I would totally recommend it. But what I'm worried about with Hot Toys is that because Hano is a division of Hot Toys, of course, that they're going to pull the wool over our eyes a little bit. They're going to wait until everybody pre-orders this new version, and then they're going to give us the blue version, or they're going to give us the armored version, or maybe they're just going to do it anyways. But our wallets may start to really hurt, because unlike Hano, which we were just talking about in that 165 to 180 range, this is still coming in, again, over that $200 price point. So it's very similar to the question that I asked earlier for Mondo. Why is this so much more expensive? Is it the material? Maybe. To be honest, it seems like it's the only real logical reason for why this is more expensive. But I thought that the material on the Hano Wolverine that I got in hand felt pretty great as well. So I'd be curious, Calvin, let's start with you, buddy. Lael is calling you out, says, don't let him fool you. You're going to 100% get this. For me, I didn't love the faceplates on this one, but I think it's a great character. And if they make no other Dark Knight Returns figures, I'm 100% going to try and get this in the display. What are your thoughts here on the comic line?
I'm going to tell you, like I told Leo this morning with Jake, Thanksgiving is this month. Christmas is next month. My birthday's in January. Feel free to give me a gift, bro. I won't turn it down. For free, I'll find space for it. But as far as coming out of my pocket, I have to pass on this one. It's just too little, too late at the moment. When I saw it, I was like, ooh. And then I was like, ooh, I'm cool. I had the Sideshow's statue, if not paid for, damn near paid for. And then Cuervo took that one over for me. And so I've always wanted some representation for the Dark Knight in here. But as you see with this car and every other damn car and this big ass Batwing back here, I've just got too much other Batman shit going on right now. I've got 2 Bat computers coming in for 89 and BVS. I have a Penguin statue coming in. And I'm sure there's some other shit that I'm forgetting. But and then that's just Batman World. That's not counting everything else I have pre-ordered. So this is just one that has to take a loss for me. So again, Leo, feel free, bro. I would love to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would love to have a display wall of just iconic Batman characters, whether that's from live action, animated series. Maybe this is when I would break that immersive feeling that I was talking about with regards to Mondo. And it actually brings me to my question for you, Luis. Like, not only is this a cool figure, but does it share in some of the same criticism that I had for Mondo? Does this not feel movie realistic or television realistic? Because it's not. It's comic inspired. But do you fit this in the display with the rest of our characters? Do we have a different display wall? And for you, is there another version of this character that you'd want to see? Or really, what opens up the door? Like, this opens up the possible floodgate of DC Comics. What are your thoughts?
100%. When this was announced, I was even talking to Philly and Calvin, Marco, Jose. I mean, I feel bad for comic book collectors because this is a whole nother level. This, to me, is equivalent to them getting the Star Wars license. You know, you have so many characters just within 9 films plus the shows. I mean, this is comic books now. You know, it's essentially unlimited. I mean, it's endless, right? And with Hono now pulling the Wolverine with the unmasked Cal, you know, we know that they're just going to make another Batman, the blue version, and they'll probably do a battle damage version, then with, you know, maybe no Cal. I mean, it's just going to be variants nonstop. So I draw the line. Hono, Wolverine, I got the classic. I may get the unmasked because I can't just swap the head out, which is what I normally like to do, just upgrade just the head sculpts. But yeah, as amazing as this figure is, and as a, I think, completely random line that they brought up, I think what separates this being Hot Toys official versus Hono is it's from a specific comic book series, as opposed to Hono. I think it's just a general idolized version of the character. Now, if Hot Toys does a X-Men 97 Wolverine, then that could probably only be Hot Toys, and I'll probably get that, or 92. But there's just no way that I can fathom getting into this line. I mean, it's too many characters, and my wallet's already done for as is, just with Star Wars. So yeah, no way. I don't envy comic book collectors, customizers. I know, Philly, I feel bad for you, man, for sure.
Hell yeah, dude.
Count me out.
Yeah. Well said, Luis. Well said. Good calculus there for sure. Now we lost Marco, everybody. We lost Marco. We have 50 people in the chat. For everybody who's, came in and out, you guys missed out on, a celebrity here because we've traded up, I think, for today. Don't tell Marco I said that, by the way. Don't clip that to him. We have traded up. We got Leal, the 1/6 scale man, in the house with us. Look
at Calvin.
Fuck that shit now.
He's looking at you, buddy. I'm going to put him right beside you here.
Calvin's got to go.
I ain't scared. I stand 10 toes down. I'll take a gift all day.
He's looking into your soul, sir.
It's right here. LA, baby.
Awesome.
You know what it is?
Love to see
Yo,
it. Good to see you, buddy.
Check it out, bro. Like, straight up. Calvin talking shit. Listen. It's just going to take just a few moments. I'm just saying, just a few moments, bro. Give him a couple months because this will be available after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, after your birthday. Then what conversation we going to have
Why
then?
won't you get it for me then? If it'll be available, then get it.
Bro, you're going to do it. I'm going to tell you why you're going to actually do it. Because you told on yourself earlier today. What did we tell you to do and what did you go back and watch? We told you to go back and watch Clone Wars. You did that.
That was Star Wars. That was supposed to be enemy. I don't have any investment in Star Wars like I do with Batman.
Come on, man. It's going to work. It's going to work. You're going to get this figure, bro. Come on, man. Just don't pass it up. You know it's going to make you feel good, bro. It'll make you feel really good to have this in your collection.
Especially that picture on the far left. That's how you'll feel right in that expression.
Here's the thing, bro. Like, I understand not getting it now, and it's not an exclusive, so you'll have time. Because again, a lot of people you have casual Batman fans, but then you have real Frank Miller fans like me, myself, that love this line, that love the book. Even though as short as it was, as short of a run it was excellent storytelling, and it actually pushed the needle forward for us to get the Batman that we have today, that grizzled, no-nonsense character. You can thank Frank Miller for that. Calvin, you got to get this in your collection. Here's the thing, bro, and I understand if you don't get it now. I get that, bro, but I'm telling you, you're going to need it. Comic representation, full-fledged, and on top of that cape, bro, the accessories that go with this, the potential for us to get other figures, it's come on, you can't trade up on this piece, bro. It's incredible, bro. It's a one-off.
It's incredible.
Literally, it's a one-off. So it's a win-win.
You know what's a one-off? That $2,500 Batwing behind me. That's a one-off.
Go flex.
Okay,
bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yo, X-Man, are you getting this piece, bro?
I was trying to not do more pre-orders.
You thinking about it?
And this, oh no, I did it already. This
You did it already?
this show, because this is required Batman reading. Okay, if you don't read anything else about Batman, you got to read this. You got to read the Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, yes.
This right here inspired the armor for Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
This right here is
BVS too.
1-to-1 BVS. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly.
This is so many things. This made Batman a little bit darker and a little bit grittier for us, in the comic book world. This did a lot for Batman as a character. It did a lot for the mythos. This is a thing that I had to have, and I'm deciding what to cancel on my pre-order list to make up for buying this. But
listen, check it out though, and this is what I've been trying to tell people, bro. Like, listen, if you especially if you're in the U.S., Calvin, you already know this, bro. If you don't want to pre-order it, at least you have time to think about it. You know how you do it? Go ahead and hit up your boy, Ray over there at Underground Figures, bro. He'll put it on. He'll put no NRD too. Gives you time to think about it, bro. Why not?
Look, I got the triple. I got the triple special. I got the RJ. I got Ray, and Jake. I know what I got.
Bro.
I know I don't need this shit. That's the difference.
You need it. Especially when you see Philly's cheating ass take pictures, bro. You know what's gonna happen. And then when you see the live action version, bro, when you see Ben Thomas play the live action version in the DC universe, bro, I'm telling you,
he does have a
I'll do my best.
What you think Ben been in the gym for? You see the pictures of Ben taking and he be flexing like that. You see the yeah, you go. You think I'll be on the Instagram page, bro? I see that.
Hell yeah, bro. I'd have to shave the beard though, Leal, and this thing took me 2 years to grow, so I don't know if I want to go down that route.
Hey, bro, shave it once,
he's rugged.
Stronger, bro. So that's no excuses. When you sign on the dotted line, you get them dollars. It makes up for that beard, bro. Let's go.
Except for it. I love that, buddy. I love that. And Leal, thanks for coming in, man. I'm glad Philly was able to shoot you a link there. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that, Philly.
Oh yeah, he bullied me, bro. He said if I didn't come on, bro, he was going to actually take my monetization away on YouTube.
He's going to take my
yeah, he's going to make it some type of story and said I said something about somebody's mom. So you already know that, bro. Let's go.
And Leal, I missed your show. I missed your show this morning because I was out shopping with a girlfriend. Would you say this was were you most excited for this to be the DC entry point for comics, or would you have rather see them start with something else?
Well, here's the thing, bro. Like, and I saw this. Now, mind you, I have to make y'all understand something. I'm trading up time here because if you hear the washer behind me, it's not my fault. It's because Toy's washing clothes, and I have to let her have her space. So I don't want anybody out there clowning me because you hear the washing machine in the background. That's just what it is right now, okay? But I will say this. This right now is undiscovered country for me, and I say that in the best of ways because of the simple fact that I didn't anticipate this coming so soon. I should have thought about it because it is the 85th anniversary of Batman. But this particular version, I was like, SSR, all these other companies have actually done it. I was like, maybe they won't tip the scale and do it this time. But them doing it now, bro, says a lot. And I think, and we're talking about like the comparison between Hano and Hot Toys. Here's the thing. Hano is there for a specific reason. Because again, there's a trade-up. I don't think they had the rights even for them to actually do this particular line. I think that they're sticking more towards anything that's closely related to Secret Wars, anything that MCU's doing that they can relate towards the comics. Because again, they're embellishing those figures. It's a way to bring people in, not just for the live action version, but you to go back and just look at source material. This right now, and I'm glad that, again, Hot Toys is picking figures. They're very selective about what they pick. I'm glad that what they're picking right now is more towards comic related, comic accurate type of figures. And on top of that, they're picking some of the heavy hitters. Bro, just a couple months ago, we got Doom. That shit right there, bro, just pushed me over the edge. I was like, yeah, give us more. Yeah. And then when they do this shit, Frank Miller, bro, oh my God, I'm in all day, every day. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this makes the most sense. I love it. I love the simple fact that they are pushing that needle forward. They're not just giving us the cinematic interpretation. You don't have to rely on an actual head sculpt. You can push these out a lot quicker, and it just makes more sense. So I'm not questioning whether or not, okay, well, what's Hano going to do, or what's the sense in having Hano? You get the best of both worlds, to be quite honest. You really, really do. And I'm glad they're going down this line. We're only going to see but so many cinematic films within the next couple of years. So again, we just have to wait and rely on this to kind of fill up that space. I'm happy that they're doing it. I hope they give us the white suit Joker. I hope they give us the blue and gray suit. Yes. I hope they give us the Superman as well. Yeah. Kelly, Robin. I hope they do all of that. I think it's room for it. This book was everything. Back in 85, 86, this book was everything. Yep. And it goes to show that they are willing and they are listening. When we were begging for them to do it, they're going to do it. I hope right now, bro, either Hano or Hot Toys gives us a comic accurate bell-bottom boots Captain America, I'm all in, bro. Because I've been wanting that figure for the longest time. If they go down, X-Men, I know you're going to agree with me on this one. If they go down the entire Rose Gallery of the X-Men line, which they need to do, I'm all in. Don't play with me on this, okay? Just give it to me. They might as well do it. You've already shown your hands with that brown and the tiger stripe Wolverine. So just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead, give us all of it. But I'm welcoming this space, bro. I'm so happy about this piece. And once Calvin goes in on it, it just completes the whole. Everything's gonna be good. We good.
Great thoughts, dude. By the way, great thoughts. I think the one question, last follow-up question for you, Lael, that I'd have just since we got you here. That brown suited Wolverine that you mentioned, I think one of the things that burnt my ass a little bit on that was that it was exclusive. Do you think that any of these should really remain exclusive, or do you think that these should be wide releases for all of them based on their price point and just the depth of these lines?
I thought about this too, bro, and I think the point of why are they going down the line of certain exclusives, and I think with Hano being very fresh, still very fresh and new, they want to see how much of participation that they can gain. A lot of us who are Hot Toys fans, are we going to leap and cross that line and participate in buying these particular figures? Are we going to show up and show out when they release it? I don't think they're going to continue to. I mean, look, we're going to get a few more exclusives, but at the same time, again, we know how everything is with these companies such as Sideshow and whoever else that has a lot of what I want to say shelf warmers, a lot of figures that are basically sitting there that haven't been sold. It's kind of hard, especially with the economy the way it is. So we're going to see exclusivity. We might as well just kind of like
get ready for it.
Get beyond that. It's just going to happen. But I think the more we participate and the more that we basically put our money where our mouths are, especially if we want these people and vote with our wallets, if we get them, then there's a chance for us to get more figures that we actually want. And then maybe they'll stop with the exclusives for a while. I'm hoping that they do that, bro. But again, a lot of exclusivity is based on the simple fact that, now put it this way, bro, if it had been, I say, around 2016, 2017, before the pandemic, we wouldn't see so many exclusives, bro. No, honestly, I don't think we would. It's the influx of not only just social media, but a lot of these streaming platforms such as Disney, HBO, all this stuff. You're pushing out a lot of figures, bro. A lot of stuff based on those IPs. And it's really, really congested now, to the point where they're like, okay, we don't know who or what, who's going to buy what, because there's way too much that we're pushing out right now. So again, it's sort of like gauging the market to see who wants what's going to work, what's going to be their hottest seller, and then they'll probably circle back around. That's what they did with that Tiger Stripe Wolverine. That's why we got the one with the head sculpt, because they knew people loved it, and they said, okay, let's just put out another piece. So again, bro, like it's going to happen. It's just up to you what you actually want. I mean, I know Calvin's going to get this, so I'm beyond that. But it just depends on what you definitely want at the end of the day. But I mean, listen, bro, like I said, it's the best of both worlds. If you want Hano line, you have that there. If you want this from Hot Toys, I think that if we continue to support this, bro, we'll get more. We'll get more from the comic line, and that's what I want. That's definitely what I want. So I'm extremely happy about this. I can't wait to see what comes next. I just hope they don't give us too much and send shit to Philly because he cheats. But beyond that, bro, everything is great.
Yeah, no, well said, dude. Well said. And, it's amazing because for a while I was a store manager of a paint store. And the only reason that relates is you don't even realize how much money it takes and how much cost is associated with having stock just sit on a shelf. how much cost there is for storage and all of the things. And for the amount of money that these are and the cost of storage nowadays, you're right. Like companies like Sideshow, companies that distribute these, they can't afford to have these just sit and collect dust forever because they're not necessarily exclusive, right? And it makes smaller retailers, the brick and mortar stores that we also like to support, it makes it harder for them to justify up to a certain extent bringing these in at still a reasonable price point to which collectors would buy, because they're like, I gotta pay my rent still, and I gotta dust the shelves, and if you guys aren't gonna buy them, it's too much risk. And so here in Canada, it's hard. Here in Canada, it's hard to even find a retailer that sells hot toys because of how expensive it is even just to get them across the border, right? So you make a good point about exclusivity just driving some sales, and then moving on to the next one that might drive even more. But I don't want to see collectors get burned like they felt with that tiger striped suit, where they would have liked to have the sculpt, but they bought the first version, and now what do we have? Two of the same? That's
and I kind of wish they would have did what they did with, for instance, because remember we got burnt that same way with Light Side Anakin, and we got the Dark Side Anakin doing the Toy Fair exclusive, when they could have just given us like a head sculpt for both. But then we got that same, then when we got, remember the whole Tony Stank fiasco, and they said, all right, well look, we'll just put out a head sculpt itself, and if you want it, let us know. You can purchase it. You can do it. They should have did that with this Wolverine. Just put the head sculpt out. I'm pretty sure people would have got it as an accessory or a separate option, or just wait and just take more time to actually develop that head sculpt and just put out the figure with an additional head sculpt. That would have, I'm pretty sure people would have been like, all right, I'm okay with that. But again, it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry.
Or even like Mondo does, right, Lael, where the exclusive version has that like second, and then once you lose out on that, you can still get the standard, right, or something along those lines. But
definitely, man. So it is what it is. I'm just super duper happy about this, man. I can't wait to get it. If they go in on this line, I'll definitely be happy. I'll just spread it out, and do what I need to do. But I think right now, like a lot of people are feeling like, just a bit congested, and it's suffocating right now when it comes to these figures, man, because you already know this week we're going to probably get like maybe 3 or 4 more figures, and they're going to probably give us at least 2 more Ahsoka exclusives or Ahsoka releases. So who knows? So it's just a wait to see. What they said, the rumor is right now that we might get Sabine this week. Who knows? We'll just have to see. So she was an amazing crazy
prototype, so I'm excited to see what she looks like in final.
So we'll see, man. I'm happy about this though, bro. But if they give us that blue and yellow, oh man, I'm putting this on Calvin's credit.
For sure. Philly, did you have any final thoughts before we move on to Joker here on just the Dark Knight Returns, what could come?
Yeah. My cheating ass is with Lael. So this is why I brought him in, because Calvin, okay, do you have the BVS Batfleck Batman in your collection?
Which one? Because I got like 6 of them.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have Michael Keaton Batman in your collection?
1 and 2 more on the way.
Okay. This is the OG of all those Batmans.
Exactly.
So, and I'm going to change your mind, because I think Leo will agree with me. This right here, this is for a collector that's been collecting for a while. This is the collector's wet dream, because we've been asking for this for a very long time. Dark Knight Returns is the literally where the whole entire, literally pretty much all the movies, film industry, how it started with Batman '89, and then it was influenced by that, and you got Dark Knight, you got MCU. This is pretty much where it all came from, and we want to make sure if you really make some moves, because you want to invest into this, because if we don't, they're not going to make any more. If you invest into this, we're going to get more opportunity for more figures. You're going to see Carrie, you're going to see the mutant leader, you're going to see a blue version, you're going to see a battle damage version, and this is the stuff that it all came from. It's classic, and I'm definitely in. And one thing I wanted to say, Ben, is you did say, what's the difference? Why couldn't have this been with Hano? Basically, because this is a gritty version of Batman, so they have to use the weathering. They're using a lot of layers of weathering in the cape and the suit. And Hano, is clean stuff. If you look at it, it looks great, but it's clean. They don't want much labor into that. So this is a little more labor into it. So that's why the price tag, and that's why it's the comic origins of Hot Toys. So
Totally makes sense. No, well said, buddy. Especially on the weathering piece. And honestly, when I did look at this cowl a little more up close, like some of the texturing even on it looks really, really cool. Really, really good.
Yeah.
So,
especially
Look at
the
that cape.
and the suit.
Those folds,
do,
though. Look at that. That's insane. They did that.
Yeah. No split cut boot though, which is weird. I mean, like I feel like that should just be a standard thing. Even this Mafex one has split cut boots. So, but I don't know. We'll see how she goes. But guys, let's move on because we got one topic left for the rest of the show today that I want to address here. Most of you guys know, and I think I've said this a couple times now, but what really got me into collecting 6 scale was my love for the Dark Knight, and most specifically the DX11 Joker. Now, when I first started looking at this Joker, I was still in a pretty entry-level job at the time. Spending $400 or $500 on a figure just felt so luxury that I was like, I'll never be able to justify getting it. Like, it doesn't make sense. But over 8 to 10 years, I kept going back to this figure and kept looking at it. And about 3 years ago now, 2 to 3 years ago now, I finally decided to pull the trigger. And at that point, I spent $1,000 Canadian to get this guy in. And it felt like a milestone. It felt like an accomplishment. It was something that I'd looked at for years and wanted for years. And then about 2 months later, InArt announced their 2-pack Joker on the way, right after I spent the money. But all of that being said, this was the DX11 Joker. And for a long time, this held the trophy for Hot Toys as being the best Joker that was really on the market. It wasn't until InArt came out with their version or options that the DX11 really started to show its age and was justified in its retirement. Now, one of the things that we've noted this week is, of course, Hot Toys has given us a new Joker variant in both options here. Both the imposter version that we saw a couple weeks ago was really our first look at what the Artisan Joker head sculpt could look like. Here, I've stolen this from Instagram. I forget who posted it. If you guys can give them some credit if you remember, that would be awesome. But here is showing the imposter head sculpt next to the DX33 and the DX32, which is, of course, that sculpted Hot Toys version. And collectors are starting to see both videos popping up on the new figure, as well as they have something to compare it to, right? Some of us have got that imposter Joker in hand, and people are really, really loving it. And so I wanted to mention this here for a couple of reasons. Most that, this looks fantastic. Hot Toys needed to update their DX11. But if you already had the InArt version, did you need to get this? Because I will say, I was a little bit critical of the Hot Toys one when it first came out. I really didn't think that the likeness was there, and I thought the hair was too poofy. This specific photo has honestly sold me on this Joker, though. I think it looks amazing. But I wanted to show you guys a couple things here. So this is the Hot Toys one on the far left. We got the InArt one on the right, and then, of course, we got the wildly priced J&D version on the far right there. Philly, I want to start with you today, buddy. On the Joker here. What were your thoughts on the release now finally of the Artisan Joker and the sculpted Joker from Hot Toys? How do you think it compares to InArt and what's already in the market? And is there an option for both? Is it this, that, both? What are your thoughts, buddy?
It basically comes down to collect what you love. So I love the Joker. It's a great character. This particular iteration of it, a master at his own craft of acting. Heath Ledger, may rest in peace. And literally this left picture right here, I thought it was a production photo of him. It looks like a real life person right there. Look at it. I mean, it looks great. I do own the InArt and I do own the DX11, I believe, because I'm a lover of this character. I'm a lover of the actor, and I want all iterations of him. And I'm gonna get this one too as well. But that's not the same situation with everybody, and that's fine. And but I think it's beautiful. They did a really good job with it. They did minor tweaks, minor improvements with it. And just for the record, though, I think the DX11 still has the best shoes of all of them, because those shoes were made
100%
they're made crafted
leather shoes,
and the rest of them are plastic. Yeah. So feel good about that, Ben. Okay.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, no, and honestly,
yeah.
I still have three. I have three Jokers in my display looking at me right now. I've got the laughing sculpt on the one, just with the gray jacket on, and then I've got the one with the jail cell bars, and then one holding the grenades. Right. So, three different squares in my display are dedicated to just Heath Ledger's Joker. And that was one criticism that I'd had for the Hot Toys, was that, I know that they gave us the interchangeable tongue, which I think is cool. It was a definitely, like a tick that Heath Ledger's character had for the Joker because of his dry lips. And it became really part of his character, which I thought was a wonderful piece to add. But I thought it was a miss when the Hot Toys originally announced this, that it didn't come, like the DX11, with a laughing sculpt.
Two sculpts, yeah.
And honestly, it's really notably missing things like the jail cell diorama, the table, the chair. Like, that was some added pieces in the DX11 set that still to this day, I think, make that set very collectible. And I've moved that table and chair around quite a bit. In fact, I actually have it right now set up with my TVA Loki. I've got his TVA Loki jacket on the back of the chair, and I've got the computer set up on the desk as though it's like his interrogation room scene with Morbius. Morbius? Mobius. Yeah, Morbius is the vampire. Yeah. I mean, that's a really cool looking display as well. But go ahead.
As for the people that missed the rooted version, just expect, this is an investment on a sculpt. Hot Toys is going to give us more iterations of rooted versions. So expect maybe, hopefully a nurse. I don't know if that's going to happen, but a police officer version, a bank robber version, expect that. So you're definitely opportunity for that particular sculpt, because it looks great. I literally thought it was a production photo on the left one night when I looked at it. I'm like, wow, that looks good.
It's pretty amazing. Leal, I don't think you're coming through your mic, buddy, anymore for some reason. I'm not too sure why.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I came through because for some reason, every time I come into StreamYard, I gotta work on the settings on my phone, because it'll automatically connect to the microphone on my phone. So it's crazy. So that's why I'm kind of
You sound a lot crispier there now. You're good.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, I got it. It is what it is.
You're good. Since I got you though, buddy, what are your thoughts on Joker? I know you pulled the trigger on the internet. I know that was one that you were dreaming of for a long time to get in your collection.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, bro. The dream originally was just to have a Heath Ledger Joker in my collection in general, because I missed out on the first version. I wasn't, at that time collecting Hot Toys at that time. My Hot Toys journey didn't really start until 2015, 2016, during The Force Awakens. So that's for me when it started, but missed out on this particular version. Having the in-art version, again, here's the thing, and I said this earlier, we talked about this earlier. I don't think there is, again, it's the best of both worlds. There's no wrong way to do this. If you missed out on the in-art version, you have this one that you had a chance to get at a cheaper price. You know what I mean? So, and it looks great. It looks good. You know what I mean? It looks absolutely fantastic. The thing for me is I had the best of both worlds with the in-art version, because you get two figures, two different looks, the seamless arms, which I absolutely love, with that piece. So that's one of the reasons why I went with that version. You know what I mean? I love it. And I didn't have, because again, like I said, I don't, to have multiples, if you look at it, having it, the all-in two figures is multiples there. I don't need anything else other than that. But and I had a chance to get this, but I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, why, when I know other people may want it? But it looks good. Like here's the thing, is like, and we talked about this earlier, whereas you get individuals who are loyalists. They're loyal to a certain brand, and then they'll talk shit about the other. You know what I mean? Well, hey, I have the in-art version. I don't need the Hot Toys version. It's trash. No, it's not trash. It's dope. Oh, I have the Hot Toys version. I don't need in-art. Oh, see, in-art dropped the ball. This is better. No, in-art, I think it's really decent. I think both of them look good. There's space for both if we approach it that way, because one evolved because of the other. Hell, if it wasn't for in-art, we probably wouldn't have got this as early as we have with Hot Toys. So I just think it's a space for it. You just have to choose your battles of which one you want, but you support both. And I think that they did a bang up job with it. You know what I mean? Did a hell of a job with it. Light up base. The tailoring on this is decent. The weathering on the coat, the head sculpt is decent. I mean, it is what it is. You just choose which one you want. I'm just sticking with in-art. I didn't go for this because I didn't need to. I don't need more, just multiple versions of Jokers, already having two. So I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? But people who are getting this, if you're getting this version or the sculpted version, you got a hell of a figure. Literally, you got a hell of a figure, and welcome to the club, especially if you were looking for Heath Ledger. This is incredible.
You know, and it's crazy, Lael, because I would still say, like, Joker is one of my favorite characters of all time,
Mhm.
especially Heath Ledger's representation. If I had to gut my collection for whatever reason, if, like, I think Shane, One Six Figure Focus, has asked the question, if there's a fire, which figure do you grab on your way out the door? Heath Ledger's Joker is by far one of those ones that I reach for, if not the guy. And I'd even put up money down with Kit. Let's see what you're pointing at here. I'd even put money down with Kit there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, is that Jen Urso in the back there?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry.
He
If
knows
that
his
was on
figure.
fire, she's coming with me, bro. Stop playing.
Just goes to show you how long I've been watching you, buddy, because it's blurry as hell, and I still know what you're pointing at.
You know,
right. But again, like, I still don't think that any of these are actually perfect, and I'd put my money down even on the J&D, which is bonkers. That cost on that is insane, and I'm honestly really starting to try and talk myself out of it, because there's been a couple customs that I've even seen floating around. Like, look at how good these look in terms of customs.
Yeah.
This to me is a stunning representation of Heath Ledger in the Joker makeup, especially that middle photo. Like, that is freaking
That is
wild.
beautiful.
It looks almost as good as X-Man's hat, bro.
Almost as good
Hey,
as X-Men's hat.
we can only strive for greatness,
But it's hard to justify $2,000 on a J&D when you could get, like a custom sculpt for probably less than that.
It's true.
If it adds to it. Hot Toys did need the update. Like we said in the DX11 photos here that I had displayed, look at the bathrobe that man is wearing in his outfit, right? Like, it is rough. It needed the update. But again, that laughing sculpt is so good. I didn't realize there'd be such a difference between the Imposter Joker artisan and this new one.
Yeah, bro. And I was thinking about that because I really believe that we were going to get because they gave us the Imposter, I was like, well, it's going to be the same. And it's not. Yeah. It's polar opposite. It's just completely different. And it looks really, really good, bro. It definitely does. So, I mean, I think, with now the J&D, and again, because here's the thing, and pardon my ignorance, because I don't look at J&D at all because I can't afford J&D, so I don't even want to tempt myself. I don't look at any of them. I'm just like, I think the last figure that I looked at, or last statue I looked at, was the Heroine, and that was it. But it's just a statue, correct?
It's 6 scale, but it's basically a statue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Not for $2,000. As I said, I thought the promo photos first were like, ooh, that might be the best representation. But then seeing those customs, I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, bro.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
And I do see a couple folks out there in the chat saying, that the hairline on the in-art is more accurate. I think that the face sculpt on the Hot Toys might have a slight edge to the in-art. I traditionally keep my in-art kind of facing the ground, actually. Like, I've got him with his ominous look, but it's like, if you see it, like, he's constantly kind of looking down, so you see his side profile, which to me really brings that likeness in. But X-Men Supreme, Dave, what do you think, buddy, in terms of the Hot Toys offering, maybe versus the in-art? Have you gone for either of them, or are you not a huge Joker guy? I'm not even sure where your heart lies on Heath.
I love Heath Ledger's Joker. Like, that's not even like a thing to really, that's wow, film at 11, right? But
I mean, Dean the Dream Martin notoriously says that he doesn't like this, and I try to kick him off the show every time. But
there are outliers, but I think it's at large agreed upon that Heath Ledger's Joker was just, at the very least, incomparable. I have had an idea for a display since I started collecting a couple of years ago involving this particular Joker, and I was looking at the in-art really hard. But I was like, I just don't like. I saw like the pictures with like where he had like the big head, and I was like, I don't know about that. And he looks really good in the coat and everything. I was like, I just don't want to spend that much money. And then I saw, J&D was. I was like, well, maybe Hot Toys will do it because how Hot Toys likes to do sometimes. Mm-hmm. And here we go. They did it. I do wish that I didn't get the artisan. I got the sculpted. Because the promo images, at least, I thought the sculpted hair looked a lot better. And now this is out, and I'm like, well, fuck. but that sculpted still looks really, really good. For a difference of $200, yeah, definitely worth getting the sculpted because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely this is a pre-order that I have that I'm looking forward to getting. I don't have anything else from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Really?
This is the only one that I've really actually wanted. I like the Dark Knight trilogy a lot. I have nothing bad to say about it at all, except that third movie could have, they could have done some stuff different. But that is a brilliant trilogy as a whole. It is amazing, and everybody that was in it, all the characters were great.
Yeah.
But this right here, this is the standout of all of it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
True.
So I definitely have to and see. I'm going to tip my hand a little bit here because I primarily wanted to get him as a figure because I just have this meme in my head of the pencil war, and I want to have Joker and John Wick going at it with the pencils.
That's dope.
So that's and maybe somebody else might join in, but we'll see. When I get it all put together, it's gonna be something.
You want to see a magic trick? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, this guy is something that I'm definitely gonna have on my shelf for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any shade towards the sculpted version at this point. I think it looks greasy. I think it looks slicked back. I do think the hairline should have been brought up just a little bit more on the one side there. But otherwise, I mean, I think it's going to be really good for most people. And I'm still, despite me having 3 of them, I'm like, maybe I should get this other one so I have them in hand to compare and maybe slowly sell off the ones that I like the least. I don't know, but we'll see. Luis, what are your thoughts, buddy, on the Joker artisan versus sculpted maybe, and how it compares to what's now existing with in-art and customs and all the things?
I am a huge Heath Ledger Joker fan. Aside from Darth Vader and Darth Maul, he's my 3rd favorite villain of all time.
Nice.
And his rendition, to be specific, I think what Hot Toys did was kind of a hold my beer moment. We have in-art, which I have the in-art, the deluxe 2-pack, and that obviously took 1/6 scale to the next level from a mass production sense, just the artistry that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And Hot Toys, I feel, obviously took that to some offense and is kind of like, we started the 1/6 scale revolution, let's see how you stand, right? And having the Wonder Woman, the DC 100, I knew that their wool hair, that was amazing, fresh out of the box. And I think a lot of people were wondering to see, can Hot Toys keep up with what in-art has done from a rooted hair version? And they did just fine. Having in-art and seeing this, they did better, in my opinion, with the exception of the hairline. 100%. They messed up. But they tweaked it, I feel like, from the feedback from the Imposter to the release, because this release came up before the Imposter came up. That I feel like came out of nowhere, and then this came up to be soon to be released prior to, and I feel like they somehow tweaked it. They made less, I guess, they made the hair less full, and I feel like the hairline is still slightly better on this, but I got to say bravo to Hot Toys for doing just that. They took something that in-art made so well and in some aspects made it better. One did the weapons being metal, and I feel like the realism is what the in-art has in terms of the accessories, the jail cell. Hot Toys tweaked some things that are slightly better. As you know, Ben, I have the J&D on order as well, so I'll probably be maybe one of the few crazy guys that maybe can compare all 3 together. But that's the thing, is now all 3 has something that each one doesn't, and it's like the culmination of Ledger Joker. So it'll be interesting to see how J&D turns out. I have their J&D Batman duo, Christian Bale, which I love, and I've said it before, J&D they don't photograph well, but the silicone really does add that extra realism that pictures just can't really get. But at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with either one of these. In art is still a great figure. I love mine. I look forward to seeing kind of combining and bashing the Ultimate Joker with the Artisan and the J&D. But I mean, all these releases so far, 2 of the 3 they knocked out. J&D is going to be the last one, and if they can really dissect what InArt and Hot Toys has done, then they could very well be the one that gets the last laugh, with the exception of people laughing at me right now and paying that crazy price, and you too. But besides that, I think Hot Toys has proven that they can definitely do rooted hair just as well as what the InArt has done. And it's a real aha moment. And now people are, kind of starting to be like, shoot, maybe I should have gotten that, right? Or now they're going to look forward to the Anakin release. And I think Artisans now, they've set the bar for the Artisan line. And I think it's something to look forward to. It's something that's, gonna bring that quality collectible to what Hot Toys was years ago when it was just the DX line. So I'm excited. Sorry to kind of go on a rant there, but it's a great.
That's great thoughts.
And the sculpted looks really good. In some pictures, the sculpted hair really gives off that kind of rooted vibe. But I think having the multiple layers of the sculpted hair really helps out, kind of like what Blitzway did and Prime 1 with their statue. So if you only scored the sculpted, you're still getting an amazing figure. But at the end of the day, Hot Toys really nailed it, I feel, and you can't go wrong having this or the InArt. We'll see what J&D has to prove, because they have a lot to prove for sure.
Yeah, well said, buddy. And, I think it's interesting too. Oftentimes we see as collectors, when something new comes up, people start to abandon the ones that they already have. And I think something that you really touched on was that, and all of us have really touched on it, was that the InArt one is still amazing. The Hot Toys one is amazing. And having the competition between the two companies has been a positive impact overall, I think, for the artistry of these things, right? What rooting can look like, what paint applications can look like, die-cast materials and weapons. Like there's so much good that's come out of competition, and there's a lot of negative shit too. There's a lot of those people who are like Lael said, like you're either on one side or the other. It doesn't have to be like that. I want to walk into my display room. I don't care what people buy. I want to walk into my display room, look around, and this can prove what I identify with, right? Like everybody would know if you walk in this room what is my nostalgic punch in the chest in every direction possible. I don't put anything in here that just looks cool. I put it in here because I love it. And it doesn't matter where you get it from, I think, as long as you love it. That's why we could talk about Mondo in the same conversation as we're talking about something as beautiful as Artisan.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you love, and I think it's valuable to bring that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, last but certainly not least, buddy, you're a big Batman fan. I mean, everything behind you, I think, from what I can see right now, is Batman. What were your thoughts on this? I think because you went in on InArt from my recollection, right? Is this something that you were bringing in too?
I did. I went the InArt route. The one thing I think no one's touched on is, why is his hand so damn big? These look like 12-ounce boxing mitts right here. He really got the hands on Batman with these.
Padded leather gloves.
Either that or because them knuckles is swollen as hell.
Yeah.
Does the InArt one look like that? Well, let's bring that in. A little bit.
Not
as much.
Nah, the InArt version, the hands on the InArt version are much more. They're definitely to scale. Like they are to scale.
Oh man, now I'm not going to be able to unsee that. God damn.
Yeah.
They are.
Dan pointed it out.
There is some puffiness.
Yeah. Look at the swollenness on the fingers there. Yeah, weird. Interesting.
You got to buy the InArt for the hands though.
That's right. Well, and that's good point, right? The seamless wrist arms that they had there, those were insane.
Phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal.
Did you guys see the peg system on the new stand? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Just to keep everybody.
Yeah, I'll take that over the magnets.
Yeah.
But Calvin, sorry, did we cut you off, buddy? I didn't hear.
No, that was really on my point. Everybody else already said everything that I would have addressed, but I just didn't get it because I've got a third scale, quarter scale, the bank robber version, the in-art versions. I'm good on my leisure. I just didn't need to spend $500 on this one. And trust me, I had two of my guys hit me already. It was like, I got a waitlist conversion. You need it? I'm like, I'm good. I'll pass.
Fair. I'll be curious to see how our buddy Marco 16fix sells another Joker to Gigi.
Oh, Gigi's killing his ass over this shit.
We'll see how it goes. Absolutely. Guys, it has been a great show today. Thank you so much to everybody that's been watching. I want to give a really quick special shout out to all of our Tough Nut Crew channel members. Once again, if you guys are interested in becoming a channel member, the link is in the comments there for you. Part of the Tough Nut Crew, we've got Alvin J, Collecting Weekly, Money Mendez, Evil Sneaker, 6 Scale Mafia, Katera, Feezy's Figures, King Dingaling, Sith Scale Collector, Paul Schreiber, The Batman, The Movie Canon, 1/6 Figure Focus, SpongeBob, Square Balls. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you're feeling better. Rogue One Photography, Peter Cass, 1 Adam 12, Ryan Smith, Collector Joey, Sam Guest, Rachel Miller, Jose G. Hernandez, Jose Plus, 12-inch Moose Dream, Collection Obsession, Blurred Dad Life, Mr. Ink, Balls, Honest Hansel, Pop Culture Relics, Figurecraft, right? Trevor emphasis on the balls. Trevor Weed, Big Rib, X-Men Supreme, Don Maton, Action Figure Academy, Valkyrie Magnus, Adrian Cervantes, and Alex Serrato. Thank you guys so much for being channel members. We definitely appreciate it. We got a new channel member in the house. We got Harry Dempsey, just became a channel member, one of the Tough Nut Crew. Guys, I will make sure you get on the slide, good sir. This is for you, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, good sir, for being a new channel member. We definitely appreciate you here. But to my panelists, of course, we had to say goodbye to Marco today, but thank you to Marco 16fix for being here with us today. Lael, first time on Let's Get Nuts. I've been meaning to invite you for a while, buddy, so thank you so much for being able to pop in today.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Doing laundry with Latoya, like she can do laundry anytime she wants if we get some time with you, buddy. So. For sure.
You already know how she works, bro. I get bullied. There's no type of there's no debate at that point, bro. I get bullied, so
yeah, that's fair. Anything coming up for you, good sir? Kind of the usual. Anything new that's happening for you in life?
Oh man, nothing that's actually new. Well, actually, no. I got comic book talk with friends. Of course, tomorrow we do it every Monday night.
Favorites.
We just talk comics. We talk everything in the cinematic universe. We kind of bridge the gap between both. Just to kind of give people a refresher. We always pay homage to like the different artists, and everyone there. So again, love the simple fact that we can be in that space, in that arena, and it definitely works out in our favor. So definitely shout out in that manner of it. But yeah, thanks for having me here, man. We do Say What Wednesday, of course. We didn't do it last week. But we will be doing it this week. New time at 8:15. Just decided to push the time up a bit, just to kind of keep it so it's not as congested. So we start at 8:15 on Wednesday. So definitely tune in. We have also Figure Flex Friday, of course. Anybody who knows, we pretty much it's a way to have all of our fans and panel, chat members, and anybody who follows the channel. To just show some figure photography, as you already know. Philly comes through, he cheats, and him and Dan. So obviously, create a space where everybody comes through and does what they do. But definitely, man, thank you for having me. My first time streaming with both Luis and X-Men. So I'm honored to be here with you guys, man. Luis, your collection, your room is fucking phenomenal. I was sitting back here looking at it the entire time. Definitely X-Men. You already know.
Collection.
Look at that, bro. Look at that. Look at that, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's the way you do it. And all black everything. That's how you do a collection, bro. That's how it looks.
Putting us all to shame,
bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
Man.
Thank you.
Phenomenal, man. But definitely thank you for having me here with all the fellas, and it's a good space to be in where we do nothing but just talk about our collection, bro. And I love that. So thank you, man. Thank you for having me here, bro.
Always keeping it light here. We always want to have fun, so I'm happy to have you here, buddy. Thanks for sharing in the laughs today, for sure. And yeah, Luis, that collection is wild, dude. So definitely a Star Wars fan. I think it's pretty obvious. Blur Dad Life with his member of 9 months comment. Thank you for being here with me that long, buddy. He says the new Cap trailer is looking damn good. I haven't watched it yet, and I'm gonna have to check that out. I think maybe after the stream, but give everybody a chance to watch it, and then maybe we'll bring it up on Let's Get Nuts next week as part of the entertainment news section, because I've heard some good things. So we'll see how it goes. Philly, good to have you back, buddy. Always love having your voice here in the show, getting nuts with us on Sundays. Anything popping up for you this week, either in your personal life or collector life, that you're excited about?
Thanks for having me again, Ben. And it's funny, Leo's doing laundry right now during Let's Get Nuts, and then usually I'm folding laundry during CLI in the morning when he's doing his show. So it's kind of like a cycle, you know what I mean? It's funny.
Yeah.
But it was good to see you, Leo. We haven't streamed in a while, as always, and I'm, you know me, I'm gonna keep cheating.
She won't cheat, bro. You already know.
But thanks again for the rest of the panel. Luis, always a pleasure. Calvin and Dave, it's good to see you guys. And Ben, not much. I mean, I'm still working on the 89 Batmobile video. That should be done hopefully soon, the next couple of weeks.
Can't wait.
And other than that, in the beginning of the show, I told you I'm going to do a rehaul of my whole setup. And hopefully that'll be done before the end of the year. Other than that, appreciate you having me, and thanks for having me. And anytime you need me, let me know. Appreciate it.
No, always, dude. Always welcome here. Any of you guys, that goes for any of you. Anytime you got some Sunday time, just shoot me a message. As I said, I'm not always the best at organizing and remembering to ask people, but it's like, oh, you want to join? Hell yeah. I love being surrounded by the good folks, for sure. Actually, before I move on, Lael, did I see on Facebook that you're getting back into some music? Doing some music?
Yes. That was. I mean, music has always definitely been my first love, bro. I mean, I have my degree in music and engineering. That's how I started. So they've been begging me, like a friend, a couple friends of mine, and Toya, and everybody's like, yo, you need to pick it back up. You need to do whatever. I was like, yeah, all right. I'll and every now and then. But then it's just a decision that I made based on unfinished projects and a project that I haven't finished. And I told myself that I need to finish this one. At least if I finish that, then I can leave on a high note. So I'm doing that.
You're referring to Me and Second Brothers theme music, right?
Yeah, that one too. That one too. That's coming. Definitely that's coming soon. That movie's going to be released pretty soon. But yeah, man, that's definitely what I'm doing, man. So I appreciate that, man. It's something that I've been so heavily involved in for so many years, but we know what life takes over. Life be life, and that's what we say. But yeah, I'm just finally able to go back and do it, so I'm definitely happy about it, man.
Hell yeah, man. Congrats on your subscriber count as well. I know that's rising. And like I said, I actually said the same thing to Will the other day, but like when I close my eyes and think of you guys as YouTube influencers, if you want to call it that, you guys are 100K channels in my book. Honestly, you guys have been around the block for
steady
a while.
Climb. That's what we always do. Yeah. But you know what the beauty of this is, bro, is that I love the simple fact that none of us look at this as a competition, because we support each other. We jump on everybody's stream, and I think, if anything we can actually say, bro, and like I know it's been a rough year for a lot of people, especially in the collecting space, but let's just make a vow, like 2025, bro, like the beginning of 2025, we get back to what it is all about, which is collecting. We talk about collecting and things we like, the pieces that we like, no backbiting. There's not a space for that. We just enjoy what we love, and we can fellowship in that space. So I do believe that, again, when I see everybody, and we piggyback off each other, we motivate each other when we see people doing their things, like, yo, look at what's going on with this person, look what they're doing. That makes me happy, bro. Like, I literally think that that's the happiest moment, is to know that, again, we're just a small pocket of YouTube. People don't understand that, but we are a small pocket of YouTube. Oh, yeah. So any person's success, it means it's success for all of us. So just continue to support your content creators, and just put that positive energy out there, and it'll come back, and like you're killing it. You know what I mean? You are definitely killing it, bro. And I love seeing that. You know what I mean? Because if it's a space for you, then it's a space for me and anybody else that's actually coming. You know what I mean? So let's go, bro. Appreciate
I've been lucky because most of the folks that I surround myself with, including everybody on this panel, have always been really positive.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that I've been shielded from negativity for as long as I have been, knock on wood. But at the same time, I called this show Let's Get Nuts because I wanted it to be fun. It is supposed to play on itself, right? We're supposed to laugh when we're here, and that's the point.
Yeah,
so
bro.
couldn't have
So
said it
that.
better myself, buddy. But definitely 2025. Let's bring it back to what's important for sure.
Yeah.
And what's important is the folks here with me. Luis, anything coming up for you, buddy? I know you've been working on a collection tour that I'm anxiously awaiting to be able to tell people about. So tell me what's going on. How far away from it are you?
Cannot wait to see that.
It's close. I appreciate it, guys.
Building anticipation.
Yeah, right. It's coming, man. I've been, kind of putting in a couple projects here and there, working, as I said, a life-size stormtrooper armor for me, but it's coming soon, and I'll probably reach out to Philly pretty soon because
I'll put him on track.
Yeah. I've shot like 90%. I've got like 7 figures that I've gotten since I finished shooting at the time. But yeah, it'll come out soon, and if it's cool, I'll, kind of premiere it on your show. And I just would love the feedback. I always appreciate you guys' kind words, and I'll appreciate that sincerely. I'm here for whoever. I'm a big lurker and been doing this for what feels like forever. So if anyone has any comments, feedback, I'm all for that. So I appreciate your time and for just having us on here. These guys are great opinions, and I promise to get that out soon. And when I do, would love to share it with everyone, and especially with you guys. With you too.
My first thought when you told me that Philly's going to be helping you out, that wild man Philly over there, this was my first thought.
Oh,
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
hold up. Wait.
See if it pays off for him.
So you said Philly, Philly helping it, and it was, so he's filming it, or he's gonna come over there. Is that what he's
I
talking
actually filmed a lot of it. I love Philly's collection tour, very production quality, and that was one of the first things that I asked him. Those tips in itself.
That's cheating, bro. He's
For
cheating.
sure.
No, Leo, we go way back. I've known Luis since he was in his teens.
In middle school.
Luis?
Hell yeah.
Middle school, yeah. We
That's
go
a
way
proud
back.
moment, bro. That's what's
Oh, yeah.
up, man. Definitely. I cannot wait
Yeah.
to see that, bro. I know that's going to be
Thank you.
incredible, man.
It's coming soon, I promise. I may either end 2024 with a bang with it, or start out
Yeah.
2025,
There you go.
with that bar set. But I
Dope,
promise
dope.
it's coming soon. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Hell
That's
yeah, dude.
incredible.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, thanks for being here once again. Definitely looking forward to that.
thank you.
For sure. Keep me posted. We'll get you on the show before you release, and we'll go from there. Mr. Calvin, low-key collector, good to have you back getting nuts with us again. I knew you had said you had some things with the wife, so hopefully she's not mad that you got nuts for so long.
She out with her
afternoon.
girls, so you see, I'm
you're
peaceful
good.
right now.
You're good.
Y'all hear that? Y'all listen.
Love it.
It's quiet, right?
He's considering that Batman. That's all.
The dogs know not to fuck with me right now. It's quiet in the house. I appreciate it. All right, just put that on the track.
Put it on the track.
Thanks for having me, man. Also appreciate the combo we had. The funny thing is, I was like, Ben is probably high as fuck right now, but you were still giving me love and motivation about some bullshit that I was going through at the moment. So I appreciate you still having the free moment to holler at me.
Hell yeah, man.
I guess Leo can call me cheating too, because whenever it happens, Philly's gonna do my room as well. So
Some bullshit, bro. Some bullshit. Because you know what? That must be a Western thing out west, bro. Because Philly ain't there,
SoCal, baby.
bro.
Look, I keep trying to tell you,
Bullshit, bro.
SoCal, baby, it is what it is. Yeah, she fuck with each other. One other thing. So I just got corrected by the fact checker, of course. I misread his message. I thought he was offering me a wait list, let alone he was actually looking for one. So I misread it, the message. So if anybody has a waitlist conversion or a artisan joker for, well, you let them know which joker, because we got too many jokers out there right now. But I believe we're talking about Ledger. Jose G could use one if anybody comes across one. So let my man know if you got one. I don't need it because I got enough shit going on in this room as it is already. But always a good time with my guys. So appreciate you.
Buddy. Well said. Thanks for being here, man. And always got support from me for sure. Anytime for sure. Jose, this is for you, buddy.
It just happened. It's the way she goes, buddy. The fucking way she goes.
Way she goes, Jose. Last but certainly not least, X-Men Supreme Dave, dude, you've been making your rounds on all of the live streams lately. It's good to see your face popping up. Lael, Dave is definitely a great a streamer and YouTuber now himself. If you ever get a chance to bring him on a Wednesday night, it's definitely a good addition. I will give him my recommendation because he's been good here. So
Ben,
you might want to read that waiver before you make that commitment.
Read that waiver before you make that commitment.
Is there a waiver? I didn't realize there was a waiver.
There's a waiver.
It's a code over here. Once you win, you ain't getting out.
You ain't getting out. You definitely ain't getting out. We let you slide every now and then. See, Ben, because Ben's been doing his own show and stuff like that, so he gets. But you put it this way: once you get made, you got to check in every now and then, bro. So you know what I mean. So just read the fine print before you commit. I'll just say that.
That's fair.
These aren't jokes. This is real shit.
It's no joke.
I get it.
X, you'll find your name on the thumbnail. You'll be like, "Yeah, what the fuck? I ain't said I was
like, Ben, why did you volunteer me? I don't have this kind of time."
Bro, look, the first time I went on, I'm in my again low key. I used to never even barely be in the chat. Right, I never had a plan to be on the air. And I put it on the big screen. I'm in the kitchen, make myself something to eat. I said, "What's up, everybody?" And he was like, "Hey, low key, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing no more of the show until low key get up on the screen." So I'll wait. And he waited for like 15 minutes before he did shit before I got on.
Yep.
That was 2 years ago, and I've been on doing there ever since. The following week, he did exactly that. I just get a tag. Yeah, this show, ooh, low key. Hey, am I on tomorrow? Yep. I was like, well, goddamn, okay.
Yep.
So,
that's fair.
Read the waiver before you
read the waiver. This is Dave right now for us.
I also like to live dangerously.
Can you come in on Wednesday too? Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No, for real though, yes, being the first time being on a stream with you, Lael, a very unexpected and wonderful surprise. It's very good talking to you, sir, directly.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Ben, I want to thank you for having me on as always, and everybody, Philly, Luis, Calvin, you guys. It's always great talking to y'all. Love hearing what y'all have to say about all the things, and y'all are just a great time to be around, you guys. I am going to be on the Canon Council tonight.
Ooh, nice.
We're going to be doing that showdown between Adam and Brick, so we're going to see how that pans out.
Let's get real.
Ooh, it's going to be something. I didn't quite make it, but it's all right.
Okay.
But
I'll try and be in the chat for that and see if I can watch.
Okay.
But I'm going to be sitting here and seeing how many times I can get through this movie this following week. I just got the Steelbook in. Just got in yesterday. So I'm going to be digging through this.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, this thing is, I've never had a Steelbook before. This is my first one.
It's a beautiful thing, bro. Mine came in on Wednesday.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I love this. This is great, man. This is really cool.
It is.
Oh man. But yeah, that's gonna be my week.
I'm still waiting on my Crow Steelbook. Actually, that's the next one I'm still waiting on, but hopefully soon.
Really?
The Crow, yeah.
No kid, I didn't know they made a Steelbook for the Crow, huh?
God damn it! I forgot to hit you on Friday. Bottleneck released a new print for the Crow, and I forgot to hit you. I got mine, but I forgot to hit you for it. I meant to tell. That's what I meant to do. I meant to tell you.
Still haven't seen the new film yet, though. But
please don't do it. Don't do it.
It's not worth it.
Don't.
Fair.
Save your time, frustration, energy, money, all the above. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. Man, he fucked up on that one. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
I gotta say something real quick, bro. Philly, this beautiful piece right here. Oh my God!
Look at the flex.
This beautiful piece right here that Philly created.
I love that.
Oh wow!
Look at that, bro. Look at that, bro. This beautiful piece right here sits in the collection. So lovely. He knows I'm a Ray fan. And yes, I'm a Ray fan. So everybody out there want to laugh at me. I don't give a shit.
100%, man.
100%. I can't wait for the next trilogy. I know y'all haters out there. I don't care. I'm in that space.
I love her.
I love this character. I love this figure. I love her storyline. And when Ray sent me, now did he? Ben, we're not going to go over how he sent this shit to me because him and Calvin was in on this bullshit. Assholes. Yo, they sent me a box. X-Men, did you hear this story? They sent me a box, right? They sent me a box. They know I cannot stay in Gore the God Butcher. So what they did was they printed out a box, a cover art of Gore the God Butcher. I opened up the box. I was like, who the hell sent me Gore? Who the hell sent me Gore? Right? I'm pulling out the box and I open it up, and inside the box, there's a Joker print. What did it say, Philly? What did it say? Catch you, sucker! Yep. Sons of bitch. Yeah,
Awesome. It's definitely worth it, man.
Yo, awesome. This right here is a phenomenal piece. Thank you, bro.
I love how you have to announce that you're a Ray fan. So many of us are, but this is Lael too.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's me. That's me. That's definitely me. That is definitely me. So got to put that out there. But yeah, so thank you once again, and good to have
it. Hell yeah. That's great. Guys, that is the show for today. Another nutty Sunday with us all. I want to say a big thank you to the almost 70 plus people we had in the live chat today at one point there. That was awesome. Thanks for coming back. We will be back next week. I am going to be gone on the one Sunday near the beginning of December to go see my mom. So I will post a little screenshot if I will have that day off. But otherwise, you can expect to see Let's Get Nuts shows until the end of the year. I also want to say one more big thank you to everybody here that joined me on the panel. These shows take a lot of time, a lot of work to put together, but it also takes time out of these people's Sundays. They have families, they have lives themselves, and when they're here to support me on the Ben Thomas Show, it honestly means more to me than you guys can even honestly realize. So thank you guys. I love your faces. I love you guys in the chat. We will see you guys next week, of course. But I would say, Dave, with that said, we got nuts. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Wow, what a great movie. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. What should I go? What should I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.